to excellence begins. It's Green Bay Packers preseason football on the Packers TV network.
It is a cloudy night with a threat of rain here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin for preseason game number 2. And it comes against a very good foe from the AFC. Tonight, the Green Bay Packers take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good evening, everyone. Kevin Harlan with the Hall of Fame wide receiver James Lofton. Preseason game number 2. Right. What are the coaches looking for?
The one thing that they want to see is if the corrections that they made during the week, that they applied after the game, if they are taken to heart by the young players. The veterans, you know what they're going to do. They're used to a normal practice week. But for those young players getting ready for that second game after the first game, it's important to see how they rebound mentally.
We get our first look, too, at Aaron Rodgers tonight, huh?
I think that excites everybody who's coming here tonight. It excites me, and I know it excites the rest of the team because you're arguably one of the 2 best players in the league is on your side.
He has a new combination of tight ends. One more of a blocker in Mercedes Lewis, a free agent from Jacksonville. The other, though, comes with a lot of glitter, and that is the 5-time Pro Bowler, Jimmy Graham.
He really does, and people will think 5-time Pro Bowls, did he make all those in New Orleans? No, he made 2 recently in Seattle. So even though we didn't hear as much about him when he played with Drew Brees, he's still an exciting, dynamic player that every team, when they play against the Packers, is going to have to defend against.
And realistically, how long does it take 2 guys like that to develop any kind of chemistry?
It doesn't take long, but like we talked about last week, he still hasn't flown with Jimmy Graham, who's a licensed pilot.
Right, I know. We're not going to get into that once again. He has a fleet-footed Davante Adams, who now has probably emerged as the number 1 receiver on this team.
Without a doubt. And I think Davante Adams, coming off a Pro Bowl year, kind of have a little bit different swagger about yourself. In addition to Randall Cobb, 2 Pro Bowl receivers, a Pro Bowl tight end, looks really good in the passing department.
We're going to see the top 2 draft choices for Green Bay. Jair Alexander is going to start in the secondary tonight. We'll take a look at him. Muhammad Wilkerson will play on the defensive line. A lot of good stories in the second preseason game. It's the Packers and the Steelers from Lambeau next on the Packers Television Network. Welcome back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Tonight's first quarter is brought to you by Case IH. Case IH. Rethink productivity. The smoke from the fireworks. The fans are settling in on a 77-degree night. It is overcast. There is a threat of rain. Mike Tomlin has got his 13-3 Pittsburgh Steelers against Mike McCarthy and the Packers. How is Mike, you think, approaching this game with Aaron Rodgers tonight?
Well, as excited as everyone is about Aaron Rodgers playing, Mike McCarthy is more excited and has designed a game plan where Aaron Rodgers should not get hit. So there'll be no quarterback options down, no rollouts. It's in the pocket, ball out of his hands quickly, and Aaron Rodgers, they don't want to have to dry clean his uniform tomorrow.
So no pass run options, you're saying tonight?
No RPOs.
All right, we've had the flip of the coin. Pittsburgh won. They will receive. You see Crosby getting ready to tee it up. The kickoff tonight is presented by Blaine's Farm and Fleet. At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll find an unbeatable selection of denim for the whole family. Right now, all jeans are on sale. More fits, more colors and styles, more brands. Deep back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fitzgerald, Toussaint. The Packers, the Steelers. Some people think this could be a preview to the Super Bowl, and away we go. It's picked up early and grabbed by Roosevelt Nix. And the fullback, hybrid tight end to the 21 with a gain of 11 on the return. So the Pittsburgh Steelers will start their quarterback tonight, Mason Rudolph. Ben Roethlisberger, who got bumped in practice earlier this week, went through concussion protocol, is on the sideline in cities tonight, will not play. Mason Rudolph is their 3rd-round rookie out of Oklahoma State with a 1st and 10. And quickly to work, and it's picked off. That is 6. Shalen's Samuels was in the vicinity and picked off by Tramon Williams. The former Packer gone for 3 years and now back. Pick picks off the rookie quarterback and returns it 27 yards for a pick six.
Great interior push. You get that pressure. I saw Kenny Clark right in the quarterback's face. Mason Rudolph, he's thinking, I'm just throwing the ball out here. This is what the coach said to do. No, you got to read the coverage.
Here's the extra point now by Crosby. Tramon Williams with a wonderful pick, and the extra point goes through. Williams, of course, turns 35 in March. Signed as a free agent after a couple years with Cleveland. Last season with Arizona, had 2 interceptions. He was with Mike Pettin in Cleveland, and so Pettin thought when he was available, let's reel him back to Green Bay, and they did, and automatically heard from right there. Officially a 25-yard interception return in the pick six.
And a lot of times you get a veteran who comes back to a team, and you hear this about, oh, he's going to mentor the young guys. That's true a little bit, but that's what they have coaches for. You wouldn't bring a veteran back unless you really believed he could play. Tramon Williams played 13 games last year with the Arizona Cardinals, started 9 of those games. So he's not a guy who is on his last legs. We saw that prime example of it right there on that first play of the game.
Williams has 32 career interceptions among active players. That is number 5, originally undrafted, of course. Made the 2010 Pro Bowl. That was the Packers Super Bowl win, ironically enough, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So now another kickoff with a 7-0 Green Bay lead, just like that, and Crosby again. And Toussaint will take it from the goal line for Pittsburgh. Began his career with Baltimore. Nice tackle there is made by Oren Burks, the rookie out of Vanderbilt, who will start taking the place of the injured Jake Ryan as a starter inside on a 16-yard return.
Watch the eyes of the quarterback. They never go anywhere other than left. And if you're a defensive back and you're in zone coverage, you're sitting there watching that quarterback. You see it settle his feet, and you just go immediately to it. Boom. You see, oh, he's going, oh, I didn't know he was out there. Can't believe he picked it.
From the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Mason Rudolph, the quarterback, and the handoff here goes to James Conner. He's a couple years out of Pitt. He picks up no gain on the play, and he's brought down by Blake Martinez. The Packers starting defense is presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next. So Wilkerson is on the line. A Pro Bowler a couple years from the Jets. Struggled the last 2, as did the Jets, as we all know. 2nd down and 10. Clay Matthews, you see, beginning outside on the edge. Rudolph with the double hitch and going down the sideline and incomplete for Justin Hunter. Coverage down there by Devon House, incomplete. Rudolph, winningest quarterback in Oklahoma State history. He was 32-9 playing in Stillwater. Pittsburgh's had 3 offensive plays and nothing to show for it.
Well, what we're getting is a good look at the Packers nickel defense. And by that I mean with Kenny Clark inside and Muhammad Wilkerson inside, and then the pass rushers on the edge. And so far, a good push right into the lap of the quarterback in each one of the passes.
6 in the secondary for Green Bay. Conner in the backfield. And they blow that dead, and they had Burks on the move on that 3rd and 10.
Delay game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
I think one of the things that you always are looking for if you're a defensive coordinator is, do I have an inside linebacker who can blitz the passer well? And in Burks, you have a guy who can really step on the gas and really get going in that short area quickness. So I look at him and I see the 2 defensive tackles and Burks rushing the passer a lot, and like the outside guys possibly dropping. But Burks just has that speed to really penetrate and get into the backfield quickly.
3rd down and 15. With a little draw right here, and out of the backfield comes James Conner. Brought down on the play with another tackle for Green Bay, put in by Blake Martinez, who says his goal this year is to set an NFL tackles record.
But the guys who play alongside him would love for him to have fewer tackles because they want to get the tackles before they get to him. But he's like the cleanup man. Anything that gets past the line, he feels like he's responsible for, and that's a great trait for a linebacker.
Jordan Berry is punting. And deep back is Rollins. Waving it off. Poor hang time and poor distance. Out of bounds at the Pittsburgh 40. 30-yard punt. And Berry takes him no place and puts their defense in peril. Rudolph, the rookie. The veteran Williams to the house.
This Packers preseason game is sponsored by Ticketmaster, Case IH, UW Health, the Better Business Bureau, and Quick Trip.
With a punt that sailed only 30 yards, Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay have the ball 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 40. Running back is Jamal Williams. 2 tight ends. Rodgers right to work. With a crumbling pocket, and he throws it away. Good coverage on the wing by John Bostic on Williams. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Rodgers, who reaches 30,000 yards faster than any quarterback in pro football history, comes in with a new offensive coordinator.
But an old offensive coordinator, because he and Philbin have worked together before, so it's a rekindling of a relationship.
2nd down and 10. Bakhtiari the block and a quick slant to Davante Adams. Works by Burnett inside the 20, looking for a puck and out of bounds at the Pittsburgh 13-yard line. Streaking across the middle, the catch and run for 27, a 1st down for Green Bay. The Packers have entered the Quick Trip red zone. Adams, the recognized #1 receiver on this team.
And you can tell from his rookie year to now, the progression, the fleetness, the run after the catch, the ability is all there.
1st and 10. Graham is in, standing up at the tight end. Rodgers, Bakhtiari holding off the rush to the end zone. And incomplete and looking for Randall Cobb. And the coverage on the play by Cody Sensabaugh, Pittsburgh's D. 2nd down and 10.
There is a run-to-catch transition. If you can catch the ball cleanly in your hands, pluck it, you just continue on the move. And it's such a good pass. And Davante Adams, he's always looking around, very shifty as a runner.
Adams is wide atop your screen. 3 plays, all passes. 2nd down and 10. Somebody moved, and that was Graham.
Yeah, a little bit anxious.
False start. Offense. Number 80. 5-yard penalty.
Referee tonight is Ron Torbert. Now 2nd down and 15.
To me, that's not a big hindrance down this close. You still get a 1st down inside the 5, about the 3-yard line. But it also gives you more room to maneuver because you have all the way to the back of the end zone. So now I've got 28 yards to work with if I'm a wide receiver. So the back part here, along that back line, that's where you want to get to.
Williams, the running back, bottom of your screen. 2nd down, 15. Rodgers gets away. The pump fake hits the deck. With a ride to about the 12 on a gain of about 5. Good coverage by Pittsburgh.
I'd love to have a heart rate monitor on Aaron Rodgers right about now, because that big Paul, Dan McCullers, who's 6'7", 352 pounds, you swing at somebody's head like that, something's going to move if it hits that helmet.
Now the defensive back brought in by Tomlin. Quick count, 3rd and 10. No flag to the end zone, and picked off in the back but out of bounds. Incomplete, was snatched there by Terrell Edmonds, who's their 1st-round pick out of Virginia Tech.
We're going to get a challenge flag here from Mike McCarthy
because too many guys on the field.
They were not off the field,
and that's what Aaron does so well.
He knew it.
Yes.
The officials just dropped the flag of their own, so now Mike McCarthy's putting the red challenge flag in his back pocket.
when the ball was snapped. 12 players on defense. That's a 5-yard
Goes down a
penalty.
lot. He processes, Aaron does, he processes things so quickly at the line, senses so much.
He took the weight of the guy who was jogging off the field. He looked at the angle that he was running. He said, this guy weighs 352 pounds. He's running at an angle 46 degrees. He's never going to make it off the field.
You Stanford guys always are thinking about steady stuff. 3rd down and 5 coming up right now as they bring off Kendricks and they bring in another wide receiver, Geronimo Allison.
So I'm not on defense. I'm not the defensive coordinator, but I look at the 3 wide receivers. They're going to try and spread us out and now run the ball.
Williams the back, 3rd and 5 for Aaron Rodgers. This is to the end zone. Caught for the touchdown, Graham! And that is where he is so devastating. 8-yard touchdown pass, Rodgers to Jimmy Graham. And that will not be the last time we'll say that this season.
Throw it high, throw it low. Jimmy Graham is a good enough athlete. He's a great basketball player at Miami. Well, he can catch the ball anywhere. We're getting the helicopters going across. Maybe Jimmy Graham, who's a pilot, could fly that thing.
Here is the extra point by Crosby. 14-0 Green Bay. They've scored on a pick 6 on defense. They get an 8-yard touchdown pass to Graham from Rodgers. Every play on that drive was a pass. Back at Lambeau in Green Bay, the scoring summary is presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next. What's coming next for Green Bay is Jimmy Graham. That's where he is so deadly in that red zone. You can see Will Nelson has prevailed for Green Bay for the last 2 years, now a Raider. Devontae Adams on that drive, and you can see what he's done last couple years in the red zone. Had a 27-yard catch and run, which sets up the 8-yard touchdown pass. Rodgers to Graham. And the ensuing kickoff and the 3rd one tonight from Crosby. Toussaint from the 3. And hit by Rollins. And belted down with a gain out to about the 26, 22-yard return.
You know, I talked about Aaron Rodgers getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Well, sometimes the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't comply with those wishes. They put pressure on him. They made him move around in the pocket. He had to scramble. He had to slide. He had to do a lot of things that you would do in a, quote, regular season game. And here he is scanning to his right, quickly coming back to his left and finding Jimmy Graham. Now, those 14 touchdowns he's had over the last 2 years, Jimmy Graham, 4 out of 8 years, has had 10 touchdowns or more. So that 14's a low number for him. He'll get many more than 7 this season. Jimmy
Graham, the former college basketball player at Miami. Here comes Connor on 1st and 10. Nice weaving run and finally grabbed by a couple, including the rookie Oren Burks. It is a gain of 7 as he wheels his way to the 34.
A couple of changes up front. I think that Muhammad Wilkerson might even be done for the evening. Just, you know, kind of went up there to see if he could work up a sweat.
Lowry is in. Clay Matthews remains in the game. And they've been talking a lot about Reggie Gilbert, number 93, in practice, and what he did last week. With a 2nd down and 3 for quarterback Mason Rudolph. Connor again, he's got the 1st down into the secondary. Good block by Hayward Bay. Flag is thrown. Knocked out of bounds. Martinez from behind. Good looking run by the 3rd-round pick out of Pitt a year ago, James Conner. 24-yard run as it stands. Flag back at the 41. May have been a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. 1st down.
The tackles that he ran through, everybody was trying to hit him up around chest level. You can see the face mask there.
Lowry.
Right there. He's running through an arm tackle. Connor is a contact runner. And by that, I mean he's not extremely shifty. Sure, he can make you miss occasionally, but he's going to try and run through the arm tackles. It's a great block by number 88, Darius Hayward Bay, former #1 pick of the Oakland Raiders years and years ago, but just kind of a worker here with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Nice 10-year career. From the Green Bay 26, 1st and 10. Lowry on the sideline. Connor last week against Philadelphia in the Pittsburgh win. 4 carries and 25 yards. He's in there again on 1st and 10. Dancing, cutting, and streaking his way. He will take it into the end zone. Touchdown. One broken tackle after another. 26-yard touchdown run. James Conner on a pick for the Steelers. A lot of missed tackles on that one.
A lot of missed tackles, a lot of guys not getting off blocks. Mike Pettin, who is upstairs, probably is fuming right now. But what you have to do, you come back, you're going to look at the pictures and see where guys weren't fitting into the defense in the proper places. And I remember one thing Mike Pettin told us a couple weeks ago is he wants the guys to keep the double team to themselves. Then that means center guard double teaming, working up to the linebacker. That defensive lineman has to absorb both those blocks, and that wasn't the case on the last couple of runs.
The extra point is away and good by Weil, and that gives Conner now 58 yards rushing on that drive. And a good one it was. Packer lead cut in half. Former ACC Player of the Year, James Conner. 26-yard touchdown run, the scoring drive. In summary, presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next. The ensuing kickoff. Weil gets it deep. Taken inside the 5-yard line. Fumble on the play. Montgomery with the return. A fumble, and Pittsburgh has come up with it. At the 25 of Green Bay. Flag is down at the 20. Edmonds is the one, it looks like, who vacuumed it in. And Montgomery was back there for Green Bay to return.
Mishandle on a punt last week. Now a kickoff on the ground. Ron Zook, special teams coach. Just calm down.
During the return, holding of the receiving team, number 61. That penalty's declined. First down, Pittsburgh.
I mean, good head of speed for Ty Montgomery, but you see that ball just a little bit away from the body, that air in between where the ball is and his jersey, that should be really tight to the chest. And Ty Montgomery, who's had a lot of experience returning kicks, also been moved to running back, knows about running through traffic. And even though you can't see guys that close to you, you got to really get that ball up against the chest.
Toussaint will be the new running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, by the way, is not with the team. Holding out, first down and 10. Rookie Mason Rudolph is the quarterback. Hobbled it. Blitz was on. Toussaint with a nice block, and this goes off to Jesse James, coming off a career year for the Steelers. He takes it down to the 5. He was in on the play by Kentrell Bryce. He takes it down to the, let's see, make it the 8-yard line. It's first and goal after the catch and run of 21. Now they're going to put it down to the 4. They automatically moved it from the 8. I guess he was overruled. It's down to the 4, first and goal. And Toussaint remains the running back. A lot of the Packer first team defenders in there, including Kenny Clark on that line. First and goal, Rudolph. Touchdown. Caught Juju Smith-Schuster, who caught a touchdown last week at 71 yards against Philadelphia. Lassos that 4-yard strike thrown by rookie quarterback Mason Rudolph. And they're working in the secondary against Clinton-Dix. 2 games and 2 touchdown receptions for the second-year receiver out of USC.
Well, we commented on the great run blocking that they had in the first drive. That time, great pass protection. On the last 2 plays, you had a tight end who dragged all the way across the field after 3 receivers went from right to left. And here, just time in the pocket and a clear throwing lane for Mason Rudolph.
That will tie the game right there with the kick.
Well, we're on pace for 200 points tonight. You know that, don't you?
Yes, we are. We have a wild first quarter. In 46 seconds, Pittsburgh has scored 2 touchdowns. Green Bay scored their 2 touchdowns in about 2.5 minutes. There's Ben Roethlisberger, I believe, with his back to you moments ago. I think that's Roethlisberger talking with Mike Tomlin. Roethlisberger, as we mentioned earlier, Concussion protocol earlier this week in practice. Not going to play. And the backup, Landry Jones, who started last week, will not play either for Pittsburgh tonight. We've seen a lot of Rudolph. Will continue that. Also Joshua Dobbs, who's a 4th-round pick out of Tennessee a year ago for the Steelers.
You know, the Steelers are one of those teams that kind of constantly is in the backup quarterback business. They don't let a lot of dust grow under their feet. You had some veterans behind Roethlisberger early in his career, and you've seen a lot of younger players. And Landry Jones, who is in his 6th year, has really had a lot of playing time. And Mason Rudolph is a kid that obviously they're pretty high on. You take away that first pass he threw, been really calm in the pocket since then. Matt
Weil, who kicked the extra point, will kick off again. Montgomery on the move from the 7. Fumbled the last time, finds a slot, hit by Nix, among others, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Turnovers already in this one.
Yeah, a turnover obviously to start the game and goes back for a touchdown in the other direction. But you also had a short punt where Aaron Rodgers only had 40 yards of field to go with, and you give a good team a short field, they're going to get the ball in the end zone.
So the Packers out there, and the new quarterback for Green Bay is Brett Hundley. Last week, started against the Tennessee Titans, went 9 of 14. 1st and 10. Handoff here goes for a gain of 4. Taking 2nd down and 6. Montgomery gives him a different look, who carried on that last one along with Cobb. Cobb played some quarterback at Kentucky. And of course, you know, Montgomery, a converted running back, gaining 4 in that previous play by him. 2nd down and 6 from the 35. Hundley, Montgomery, and then hit by a couple, including Terrell Edmonds, like we said, their #1 pick out of Virginia Tech, with a gain of 4, and he's out to the 38. The Packers starting offense, presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next.
What comes next is 3rd and 2.
Next is 3rd and 2. With this drive starting at the Green Bay 31. Montgomery fumbling last time. Geronimo Allison, bottom of your screen, 3rd and 2 for Hundley. Blocked by Bakhtiari. Moves up on the move, and he's got the 1st down, it looks like, as he lunges across. Hit by Morgan Burnett. Former 8-year Packer, now with a free agent signing in Pittsburgh. Needed 2, and he got 2, and a 1st down for the Packers.
I love the awareness by Brent Hundley here. You saw him check to his right, check to his left. And then once he started to scramble, he said sliding is kind of not an option here, because when you slide, you get marked down as soon as you start to slide. He needs to be going forward to try and pick up that 1st down. Got it by about a yard.
2 tight ends. Graham on one side, Kendrick on the other. 1st down and 10 for Hundley. Blocked by Montgomery. Going deep and on the side and through the hands of Graham, with the coverage on the play by linebacker John Bostic, who last year played for the Colts in Indianapolis. Incomplete, and was there a flag on the far side?
Yeah, because Jimmy Graham did a nice job in coming back towards the football and was contacted before the ball got there. Mike Tomlin sees it the other way, that the defense got there in time to make the play.
Pass interference. Defense number 51.
That was a linebacker trying to work on Graham. I know I couldn't see that flag because the official was stepping on it. He couldn't stepping on his flag. He couldn't see it on the field.
Now there was a little pressure in Hundley's face. Ty Montgomery missed his block on the linebacker who came through in between the guard and center. He's got to do a better job squaring up, because if he does that, Hundley has a chance to step into that throw and connect to a Jimmy Graham who's wide open running beyond the defense.
With the 1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh 33. And spinning his way, Montgomery takes it down to the 27-yard line, hit by a couple on the play, and it is about a 6-yard gain, we'll call it, to the 27-yard line. The Packers have crossed the 50. When you cross age 50, ask doctors about Cologuard, non-invasive colon cancer screening for individuals aged 50 and above at average risk for colorectal cancer. Visit Packers50.com for more information. 2nd down and 4. That's Mercedes Lewis in motion, number 89, the new Packer tight end. Montgomery cut, got the block. Bakhtiari provided it with a gain of 1. Hit on the play by L.T. Walton on that line to the 26-yard line of Pittsburgh.
Now, most people are going to yawn about a 1-yard run, but Ty Montgomery prevented a 3-yard loss on that play. Defender running free in the backfield, nice spin move, regained his balance, was able to get a yard out of it. So instead of having 3rd and 7, you have 3rd and 3.
Right tackle starting tonight, by the way, as he did in the first series, is Kyle Murphy. Galaga is still out, although began practicing this week. Right now, he is on course to be ready for week 1. Green Bay's 2-2 on 3rd down. Here's a 3rd down and 3 for Brett Hundley. Bakhtiari the block at the left tackle. Out they go. Montgomery again used heavily on this drive to the 17-yard line. Forced out of bounds by Bostic. Catch and run of 9. First down on the play. Tonight, each trip into the red zone by the Packers is a trip to the Quick Trip red zone. Stop by Quick Trip to pick up your free rewards card or download the Quick Rewards app to start earning rewards visits for a chance to win Packer trips, merchandise, and game tickets. After the gain of 9, 1st and 10. Montgomery. Now they get him that time. Morgan Burnett read it well. He probably had seen that play in practice in as many years with the Packers. Montgomery's got 6 touches on this drive. Losing a yard on the play. 2nd down and 11. They got a 26-yard PI against Pittsburgh on the drive the Packers have beginning at the 31. 9-yard catch and run. Montgomery for a first. 2nd down 11. Montgomery a block this time. Hundley on the move. Burnett in pursuit and brings him down at the 18-yard line. Morgan Burnett, he was the 3rd-round pick by the Packers back in 2010. No gain. 3rd and 11 coming up.
You know, it's so interesting when a guy goes from your team to the other team, and then you come back to play where you used to play. And Morgan Burnett does a good job on this play. He shadows Hundley, doesn't let him get away. And when he gets up, he kind of glares at the Packers sideline. The guys are kind of just waving at him. Good play. Good job.
Hundley, whose dad played running back at the University of Arizona. Grew up in the Phoenix area. Was the high school player there in the state of Arizona. Before he went to UCLA. 3rd and 11. Outside it goes, incomplete. Fluttering like a deflated balloon on the side. There really was no one home. The coverage was there. Here comes the field goal unit for Green Bay.
A little bit of an issue for the Packers offensive line, who did not game plan for this game. The zone blitz that Dom Capers was so good at, that Dick LeBeau started with the Pittsburgh Steelers years and years ago, is having some issues with the Packers, because like I said, they didn't game plan. So they're bringing 4 from one side, overloading that side, and there's going to be a free rusher because you haven't worked on that specifically to stop for this ball game.
Crosby, the all-time leading scorer in Packer history, a 36-yard field goal for the lead, and it comes with about 4.5 to play in the first. Packers have scored an offense, defense, and they get a field goal right there. Take a lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers. 4:26 in the first from Lambeau. Packers just got a field goal to take a lead here late in the first. The Packers are hosting a celebration weekend with free concert performed by the Steve Miller Band. Join SiriusXM, Culver's, Ticketmaster, and Jack Link's Protein Snacks on September 8th at 7:30. Look at the quarterbacks right there. Crosby just nailed a 36-yard field goal. Put the Packers on top of the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17-14 the ensuing kickoff. Toussaint will let it bounce out of the end zone. And a touchback. The scoring summary is presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next. Veteran Crosby might be the greatest kicker in Packer history. They've had a lot of good ones, but he might be the greatest. The statistics would say that. And the gray hair would say that.
I talked to him before. It's only his 12th year.
I know.
Number 1.
Yeah.
But I talked to him before the game, and he said he's at a point now where he's kicking about every other day in training camp. And he really manages his workload by himself. He doesn't subscribe to what other kickers do around the league, but how he feels is when he's ready to kick a lot during practice.
Mason Rudolph, the rookie, on the money with the 1st and 10. Nice catch made by Justin Harper, the former Buffalo Bill. 18-yard pickup up to the 43 and a 1st down for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Time in the pocket, just a 4-man rush, and not really coming from any angles, just 4 guys coming straight ahead. This might force Mike Penton to say, okay, I'm going to start to blitz. I'm going to start to bring some heat. See Wilkerson right there in the middle next to Lowry.
Toussaint with the 1st and 10. Played at the University of Michigan. Takes it by midfield. Brought down by the rookie Oren Burks, who played safety at Vandy. A 3rd-round pick by Green Bay. 8-yard weaving run right there into Packer territory.
What you are looking for on the defense right now is a stopper. You had one the very first play of the game when Tramon Williams takes the ball back and goes the other direction. But right now you want the linebackers to step up. You want them to fill the holes a little quicker. You want the defensive linemen to shed those double teams.
Green Bay's number 1 defense remains on the field. 2nd down and 2. Toussaint outside. 1st down into the secondary and brought down by Clinton Dix. To the Green Bay 37. 11-yard 1st down run by Fitzgerald Toussaint.
Last play, everybody gets hugged up in the line. See the linebacker on the outside, Kyle Fackrell, going inside. He has outside contained. When he goes inside, a good running back sees that with his vision, bounces it outside, and there's no next defender.
Packers with 4 in the secondary. Pittsburgh 1st and 10. Rudolph moves up nicely. Chased by the defensive back, Kentrell Bryce. Out of bounds he goes, picking up 3 on the play. Mason Rudolph, the last week against Philadelphia, went 7 of 12 through the air. Picks up 3 right there.
And Bryce is a little frustrated now because Bryce is a really big hitter. He just got stiff-armed by a quarterback. Now, you won't hear the chuckles now, but in the meeting room after this game has been won, it's going to be a little bit of what happened to you there against the quarterback.
His teammate at Oklahoma State, James Washington, a 2nd-round pick, is wide here, bottom of your screen. 2nd down and 7. Toussaint. And hit by Wilkerson. Plugged the gap, allows a yard. He got to it inside the 35 of Green Bay.
And that forces the Pittsburgh Steelers into a 3rd and a short 6. But what that is that's an obvious passing down. Now, a couple things. If you're a linebacker, you've got to be aware they might screen us. But other than that, if you're a defensive back, you know this ball is going to be thrown down the field, probably in bump and run coverage. You got to get up and play your man and not let him have an easy access off the line of scrimmage. But to prevent that, the Steelers go with a little bunch formation on the left. Right there, that's a bunch look.
Alexander, the 1st-round pick, is back in there again. 5th defensive back, 3rd and 6. Hit as he throws. Rudolph down the sideline, incomplete with the coverage on the play by Devon House. Looking for Damon Patterson, rookie free agent out of Youngstown State, who caught 6 passes last week against the Eagles for Pittsburgh. 4th and 6.
And 4th down, they're going for it.
Yep.
You want to put these stressful situations on young quarterbacks, get some crowd noise going against them. This is an audition for Mike Tomlin. He's checking out what his quarterback is going to do.
Josh Jones is coming as a 6th defensive back. Would be a 52-yard field goal. 4th and 6. They need the Green Bay 28. Here comes Gilbert. Got to the quarterback and across the middle it goes. Caught by Washington. Wrapped up on the play by Devon House. No gain on the play. The veteran House is there. And on downs it goes back to Green Bay. The Packer D holds.
And a great job by Devon House weaving his way through traffic. You see the receiver is going to come underneath. Devon House has to work over the tight end, Jesse James, who's trying to rub him. He's not trying to pick him. He's trying to rub him. Picking is illegal. You would never do anything like that on offense.
Well, you wouldn't.
But House does a great job in working over that rub and then accelerating, getting the receiver and making a good short tackle.
Running back Jamal Williams. Fullback Ripkowski. Quarterback UCLA's Brett Hundley. 1st and 10. Lewis, the tight end, in motion. New left tackle, by the way, is in. Here comes Hundley, being chased on the play by Vince Williams, and throws it away wisely. Incomplete. They were coming around that left side, and over there Kyle Murphy now is moved to the left tackle.
If this were a Pro Bowl game, Mike McCarthy would be screaming at Mike Tomlin on the other sideline going, hey, I thought we weren't going to blitz. But you're blitzing every down, and that's what the Steelers are doing. They're coming after you. They're coming after them as if this were the, quote, third preseason game where you kind of pull out a few more of the stops.
Byron Bell now playing the right tackle. He struggled last week, the former Cowboy. Second down and 10. For the block at the left tackle. Wide open, he's caught. Lewis. Mercedes Lewis. There goes a flag. Hit by Sensabaugh. Hit by Burnett. They'll put him right now at the 41 of Pittsburgh. 23-yard pickup. I think someone may have led with their helmet.
Yeah, they did. And that's UCLA Bruin to UCLA Bruin. Now, there's a little bit of gap there in between when they were in their graduating classes. But that's Mercedes Lewis saying, I have 375 career
Personal
receptions.
Foul, lowering the helmet to initiate contact on a defense number 24. 15 yards will be added.
It's unsensible.
First down.
You know, everybody's going to talk about Jimmy Graham and the great receiving tight end he is. But this Mercedes Lewis, he goes up, catches the ball, twists, great hands catch. There's nothing wrong with those big mitts. And catches that ball in traffic, secures it, does every little thing that you want to do. I don't care if you're playing receiver, if you're playing wide receiver, if you're playing running back. Everything that you need to do out in the open, Mercedes Lewis just did it right there.
First down and 10. Running back Jamal Williams. Hundley. Outside quickly he goes. This is caught by Kendricks, who is another tight end. The former Wisconsin Badger Lance Kendricks. The catch and run down inside the 12 of Pittsburgh. And a 15-yard pickup on the play. The Packers have entered the quick trip red zone.
The hardest player to match up against is a good tight end. And Jimmy Graham, Mercedes Lewis, Lance Kendricks, you put a defensive back on. You put a safety on them who they outweigh by 50 pounds. You put a linebacker on them who they can outrun. It is just a tough matchup. And the Packers have three excellent tight ends.
Of the first quarter.
First quarter has come to a close. Pick six by Tramon Williams. Touchdown pass by Aaron Rodgers. And a 36-yard field goal has Green Bay on top at the end of one. 17-14. Welcome back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The second quarter is sponsored by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Kevin Harlan, Hall of Famer James Lofton, Lance Allen on our sideline. Green Bay has scored an offense, defense. Also gotten a field goal to take a 3-point lead to the second quarter. Steelers have gotten a 26-yard run by James Conner, and it was a beauty. And a 4-yard touchdown pass to Juju Smith-Schuster. His second touchdown reception in as many games for the Steelers. First play of the second quarter from the 12. First and 10. Hundley 4-6 through the air. Williams in the backfield. Williams will take it down to the 10. Hit by a couple. Picks up two among the tacklers for the Steelers. Daniel McCullers.
The pairing that the Packers just had in is, I think, a pairing that you're going to see a lot during the course of the regular season. It's what you call 12 personnel. It's one running back and two tight ends. And then obviously two receivers, but that gives you Graham and Mercedes Lewis, or Graham and Kendricks, and then the wide receivers. And Jimmy Graham is that, quote, third receiver that you always talk about.
Second down and 8. Good block by Williams, the running back. Hundley will dance and spin and escape and drive. He'll take it in. Touchdown, Brett Hundley. 10-yard touchdown run with the leap to follow.
I wish we had one of those adventure-seeking cameras that was right on his forehead, because the thing that you would notice is he probably never looked at the pass rush constantly. He kept his eyes up, because what happens when you get compacted in the pocket is you want to look at the rushers, and all of a sudden you're going to go down. He kept his eyes up, kept moving forward.
Crosby makes it 24-14 Green Bay. Well, Mike McCarthy said that Brett Hundley was caught unprepared to replace Aaron Rodgers last season.
Who wouldn't be, though?
Well, exactly. And one of his main struggles, Mike was saying, was his inability to feel the rush.
Yes.
Well, he felt it that time and exploited it.
He felt it, but he didn't necessarily look at it because, it's kind of like somebody says, okay, there's a bear around the corner. You don't want to go around the corner, but you say, just go down to the corner and make a left. Then you don't have a problem with that. And I think that's one of those fears that you have to get used to, because as much football as he played, he spent more time sitting on the sideline not playing football. So getting thrown into the fire last year during the course of the regular season is tough for any backup quarterback.
Huntley during that drive, James, 38 passing yards, and he gets a 10-yard touchdown run.
We all knew that he could use his legs when he came out of UCLA. But you really do get spoiled. Aaron Rodgers is like having your favorite dessert every meal of the day. And you can't get any better than that.
There's Deshaun Kaiser. Tim Boyle is in that conversation too. The ensuing kickoff by Crosby. Toussaint from the 4. Bryce brings him down. Flag has been thrown as Toussaint works his way out to the 26-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also on that play, Dimitri Goodson, the former college basketball player. As they discuss, Ron Torbert, the referee.
Personal foul. Legal double team block on the receiving team, number 33. Half the
New
distance
kickoff
of the goal.
rules this year. Yeah.
First down.
Yeah, legal double team block. Yeah.
That's the only way I could ever block anybody. I needed help.
Well, the scoring drive presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next.
Now defensively, you have the Steelers in a little bit of a hole. And you want to go out there, you want to be stout in this drive. You've got them inside the 15-yard line. We haven't seen a 3-and-out in this ball game. And that's what, when you trot out onto the field defensively, you have them backed up. You're thinking 3-and-out.
A lot of the number ones still out there for Green Bay defensively. 1st and 10 for Rudolph. Toussaint brought down by Burks. He came through that line like a missile. Oren Burks comes through, throws him for a 3-yard loss.
You've got to have great vision at the linebacker position. Burks, he's watching what's happening in front of him, the defender in front of him. He eyes it up and he sees a gap and he gets through that gap. It's about what you see with your eyes when you're on the field and how quickly you can respond to it for a young player. I don't know if when he got drafted he said, "Mom, I'm going to start." Sure, yeah, go in there and make the special teams. He's starting right now.
And Travius Adams on that defensive line for Green Bay. 2nd down, 13, run by Toussaint. With the tackle made by Kenny Clark, number 1 pick out of UCLA 3 years ago. It's good to see him making that. We had a nice feature on Kenny Clark.
Well, he's made the jump. He comes in as a 20-year-old rookie, first-round pick. Everybody's expecting things to go through the roof. And last year, the last half of the season, he got all his sacks. He kind of figured this deal out, what it takes to be a pro at this level.
Mason Rudolph, who has 54 school records at Oklahoma State, with a 3rd and 11. And as he throws, an incomplete. Searching downfield for Marcus Tucker, among others. Tucker is out of Northern Michigan, undrafted. So it is 4th down, and the punting unit gets out there right now for Pittsburgh with Jordan Berry to punt.
Talked about 3-and-out. A lot of high fives coming off the field for the defenders. Get your punt returner back. Make a smart decision back here on this punt return.
The Australian Berry to punt. Deep back for Green Bay is Rollins at about the 30-yard line of the Packers. There's some broken tackles. Hayward Bay can't get him, and finally is brought down on the play by the defensive back, Terrell Edmonds. 58-yard punt, 18-yard return, 4.5 on the hang, and we step aside at Lambeau.
This Packers preseason game is sponsored by Chevrolet, Steinhoffels, Wisconsin Dental Association, Blaine's Farm and Fleet, and Concordia University, Wisconsin.
Mike was talking about Brett Hundley the other day, and he said, James, maybe his best preseason performance since his rookie year is what he turned in last week against the Tennessee Titans.
Key to playing quarterback, lead your team towards scoring points, whether it's a touchdown, field goal, those are opportunities that you want.
Hundley feeling the rush. Here's a little screen. Jamal Williams looking for some blockers and brought down on the play by Vince Williams. Catch and run.
McCray got up limping just a little bit. He kind of missed his block in the open
he's
field.
down. He's down. Look at him. And this kid had been making some progress.
You know, you hate to speculate on injuries, but he looked like an ankle.
As they take a look at him, we'll step aside at Lambeau and 12:15 to play in the first half. Right guard limping off Justin McCray. He was getting some first-team reps at that right guard. Learned a lot, he said, from Yari Evans, the multiple Pro Bowler who is no longer here, played there last year. Evans would watch tape and give the kids some pointers.
And he's out in space trying to block on the screen, and you're trying to block much smaller, more nimbler players than you are. And he just planted his leg in the ground, and most of his weight went the opposite direction of what he wanted to go.
Lucas Patrick taking his place. The center is Dylan Day for a second series. Gain of 6 on the previous play. Second down for Kumaro. Slicing inside, the Whitewater player takes it in for a first down. Sensabaugh trips him up. He's down to the 26-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. A 20-yard catch and run by the talk of this year's camp.
When you can stick your foot in the ground and separate, it doesn't matter where you're from, Whitewater or Alabama. And last week I kind of stuck my foot in it, talked about Whitewater and not being a school that a lot of NFL teams are always looking at, but you're always looking for a player like Kumaro.
After the 20-yard catch and run, 1st and 10. Williams. And around his ankles, you can see the catch right there by Vince Williams. There is no gain on the play. Kumaro was a 2-time national champion in Division III at Whitewater.
And the funny thing about it is I know about Whitewater. My younger son played at Hardin-Simmons, which is down in Abilene, Texas, and is one of those Division III powers. So I knew about Whitewater. Can't tell you that I did know about Kumaro, but I think a lot of Packer fans are pulling for this guy. His 3rd year out of college, he's been on practice squads here and there, and you can tell he has NFL in his blood.
Well, we know their faculty watches this. 2nd down and 10. Brett Hundley blocked by Williams. Good move by Hundley. Chased on the play. Tuitt is on his case. It is incomplete, and he was looking downfield for D'Angelo Yancey.
When you play quarterback, you just don't get graded on whether or not you had a good play. It's decision-making in the pocket, decision-making out of the pocket, accuracy of the throw. And on that last play, there was a little bit of indecision. He's going to the sideline, nobody in front of him. If he takes that ball and runs, he probably picks up 3 or 4 yards. Brett Hundley was looking for more than that, and I kind of like that. When all of a sudden you start thinking about more as opposed to what's the minimum I can get out of this play.
3rd down and 10. Oh, they got by Murphy, and he's doused by Bud Dupree. There are very few in the league as good edge rushing as Bud Dupree, a Pro Bowler. Losing 9, 4th and 19. Dupree came streaming in, makes the sack.
That left tackle position, you've got to be secure right there. There you are with Kyle Murphy on the left side. You're going to see Bud Dupree come off the edge and just beat him directly around the edge. He sticks one hand up, and he's not even slowed down on his way to Hundley.
Crosby's going to try a 53-yard field goal. And it is good! Green Bay's offense, 4 possessions, 4 scores. That field goal of 53 set up on the 18-yard punt return by Rollins. The 20-yard catch and run by Kumaro. 53 yards, Mason Crosby.
Now, when you or I try and get a little more distance with our driver on the golf course, it's like beware in the parking lot. Watch out for those houses on the right. That one, 53 yards, is a long field goal. I don't care where you're kicking, who you're kicking for. You've got to put a little extra into it. And when you put a little extra into it, you tend to pull it either right or you push it left. But that one, Mason Crosby, right down the middle.
And remember, Crosby this year working with a new long snapper and a new holder.
And look at that. That's the same old grin there, though.
He's been through the wars and performed at the highest level. That scoring summary you just saw was presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next. A lot of kickoffs in this game. Here's another one by Crosby. Toussaint will let Nix pick it up and rumble. That is a big body. Out to the 25-yard line. Brought down on the play by Raven Green out of James Madison. Roosevelt Nix out of Kent State. Plays some fullback. He can play H-back, 20-yard return.
I think he's a little bit bigger than his 5'11", 248. But that kick, the placement of it and the hang time to put that ball to the place where the up blocker has to go back and make a decision, that's what you want from your kicker. And you saw Mason Crosby earlier kick the ball about 4 yards deep in the end zone. And he was kind of upset with himself because he's trying to hang it right there around the 2-1 yard line to make them bring it back and hopefully get them inside the 25-yard line.
Rookie Mason Rudolph, third-round pick out of Oklahoma State, remains the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Toussaint with a pulling block right there by B.J. Finney. And he is brought down at about the 27-yard line on a gain of a couple. Ben Roethlisberger not playing tonight. We've seen him a couple times on that sideline. We knew he wouldn't play, nor will Landry Jones. We will not see any of Antonio Brown, the highly decorated wide receiver for Mike Tomlin's Steelers.
None of the killer bees.
No.
Bell.
Bell wasn't even in camp. James in motion. Second down and 8. Up the middle they come. The ball is thrown out of there quickly as they're going for James Washington. On the coverage by Josh Jackson, the rookie out of Iowa. 3rd and 8. We started last week because of Alexander being off with a groin injury.
And this is man-to-man coverage right there to make the play. Ball thrown a little high. The receiver might have cut his route a little bit short because he felt jostled at the line of scrimmage. But I like everything I've seen from Josh Johnson. It doesn't seem like it's too much for him. He made a lot of tackles last week. Obviously, the 8 interceptions that he had last year at Iowa tells you that when the ball's in his area, he's looking for it.
They said Jackson had his best practice of camp earlier this week. Rudolph with a 3rd down and 8. Good time. Bad throw. Looking for James. Thrown in back of him. He's double covered. It's 4th down. Here comes the Steeler punting unit. So they've lost it on downs. 3 and punt the last time. And 3 and punt this time for Pittsburgh. So they drafted Rudolph in the 3rd round this year. Joshua Dobbs out of Tennessee in the 4th round last year. Here is the punt by Barry. Rollins back at about the 9. He's going to get another nice little return. There goes a flag. There goes another flag. Hayward Bay among a couple Steelers there to make the stop. A 21-yard return right there. Had an 18-yard return the last time for Green Bay.
Ty Montgomery kind of walking off with a little hitch in his giddy-up.
What really does that mean?
You've never seen a horse, you say giddy-up and then that's a hitch.
Number 81 of the receiving team.
You know, I grew up on the farm in
First down.
inner city Los Angeles.
Timeout.
They'll step aside. 8:41 to play in the first half. The Packers 27-14 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Back at Lambeau at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll find an unbeatable selection of denim for the whole family. And right now, all jeans are on sale. More fits, more colors, and more styles, and more brands. Spriggs is now the right tackle. Bell is the left guard, and the new quarterback is Deshaun Kaiser. With the 1st and 10, the holding penalty on the return wipes out the 21-yard return by Rollins. On the 14, 1st and 10. Quickly across the middle as Kendricks. Trip up on the play by Cody Sensabaugh. Catch and run to the 27, 13-yard pickup and a Green Bay first down.
One of the things that we saw in week 1, we saw the deep passes, the over-the-top throws. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers will tell you, well, we didn't watch film. We didn't see any of that. They are backing up off these receivers giving them room underneath to operate. The Packers are taking great advantage of it.
Buonio is the running back. After the 13-yard gain, 1st and 10. Buonio. And a gain of 3 up the gut to the 30-yard line. Look at the drives by Green Bay tonight. 8-yard touchdown pass, Rodgers to Green. Got a Hundley 10-yard touchdown run. They've had a couple field goals, one at 36 and one at 53. And a pick 6 by Tramon Williams on the game's first play. 2nd and 7. And he had it. Looked like he may have been held by Sensible. Yep. And they were going for Jamon Moore, the rookie out of Missouri.
And the flags did not come out.
No, they did not.
He's grabbing his left arm with his right hand as you go by him. That is the definition of pass interference.
And that's coming from the mouth of a receiver.
Watch that left arm draping it. He's restricting it.
Sensible got one.
I'm just an analyst. I've got to remember, I played about 4 plays on defense when I was here.
I did.
Both ways. Me and Bronco Nagurski.
3rd and 7. Kaiser always being chased in the play. And out of bounds he runs. Adaney was after him. Kaiser. So he picks up a yard, 4th and 6. Kaiser out of bounds.
And a great job in getting out of bounds. You see quarterbacks who, get toward the sideline and they want to get an extra yard or whatever. That time, with hot pursuit behind you and other guys coming forward, you get out of bounds. There's no need to take a hit right there. And Deshaun Kaiser, smart enough about that after starting 15 games for the Browns last year.
First punt for Green Bay. J.K. Scott out of Alabama. It's high, it's hanging, and it's out of bounds. Sutton was back to retrieve it. He is the only punter in camp as a rookie. 33-yard punt. End time was 4.8, but the distance wasn't there. I think he was the perfect combination, they think, in distance and hand. Well, get all your Packers news right from the source through the Packers app. Exclusive content, live press conferences, and year-round coverage. Download the official Packers app today. 29-yard punt.
When we talked to Mike McCarthy this morning, one of those kind of players to watch, it was Josh Jones, number 27, safety, who can do a lot of different things. They want to just see him excel at kind of one thing to start and not really overburden his plate.
Mason Rudolph with a 1st and 10. Crumbling pocket. Gilbert got in there. Ball is loose. And down to the 28-yard line. Looked like perhaps the Steelers fell on it with a lineman. Gilbert came around one side, pressure up the middle, and Rudolph lost the ball. Losing 11 yards in the process.
That first step quickness, nobody to block you. You're honing in on the quarterback, and you come right through his body. Really, really good there, because a lot of people would see that ball, they'd swipe at the ball, but you hit him, and that arm, even though the arm's coming forward, the ball's going backwards. That's a fumble.
Mike was talking about Gilbert with us this morning, raved about him 2 straight years in the practice squad. That will not be the case this year. He's had 2 great games, 2nd down and 21. They dump it off here, caught by Jalen Samuels. He'll dance a bit, and he's brought down by Fackrell. He picks up 4. He's up to the 31, and let's send it down to Lance.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. A couple of injury updates. Justin McCray, the right guard, has a calf injury, and Jamal Williams now with an ankle injury. So hopefully that just kind of stays right there. But a couple of injury updates for the Green Bay Packers. Kevin James, back up to you guys.
Lance, thank you. Oren Burks, by the way, the rookie, is wearing the communications helmet. With the Packer D starter and still in. 3rd and 17, Rudolph. Gilbert got him again! And then he is finished off on the play. Fackrell got him. Gilbert spun him around, and the Packer D comes through again. Gilbert has been a one-man wrecking crew on the defense.
in front of Gilbert on the roster, obviously Clay Matthews, Nick Perry. But if you look at Gilbert's performance so far in the first 2 preseason games, he's able to man up, to play the run, to rush the passer, to do all the things you want from that big outside linebacker position that the Packers love so much.
3 straight 3-and-outs for the Pittsburgh offense. Jordan Berry. Deep back is Rollins. It's not going to go very far. It's going to go out of bounds. There's been a lot of rumor about Khalil Mack and maybe Green Bay being interested in the Raider holdout. But the way Gilbert is playing right now may change things, change the thinking a bit. Not saying they're in the same category, but Mack, if they get him, is going to come at a high price.
Well, yeah. What does it cost? How much would you ever be willing to give away for one player?
Well, and of course, as they're negotiating Aaron Rodgers' contract restructure, and by the way, the wire services reporting tonight that they're closer in an agreement. So there's a lot of moving parts, but Gilbert has been terrific with some nice plays last week out of Arizona, 2 straight years, as we said, on the practice squad. And Mike said, I'm kicking myself for not bringing him up a year ago. First down and 10 from the 49. Kaiser bobbled and dropped by Equanimeous St. Brown, the rookie out of Notre Dame, and a 6th-round pick who you were talking to before the game was funded down to Lance.
He's great, right, Mike Daniels?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, and the other thing is, this defensive line, they've got you, they've got Kenny Clark, they've got Montrevious Adams, Dean Lowry, Muhammad Wilkerson. How many more guys can they throw at the opponents?
I don't know. We're more than enough, though. We're more than enough for anybody to handle, and I'm really looking forward to getting back out there with my guys.
How great could this defense be this year? I know you've been pretty emphatic in saying you could be great.
As great as we, push ourselves to be, and we've been putting in the right amount of work. Coach has been driving guys. The accountability's been amazing, and right now, what you're seeing on the field is really good. Obviously, some things to clean up, and we're not at full strength with me and Nick not being out there, but things are really looking like a lot. As you can see, there's a lot of improvements.
We got to ask about the documentary that you're a part of. I would never offend you, so you are the self-proclaimed dork with muscles. But I tell you what, that anime thing has taken off. Explain how that saved your life and helped your life.
Well, yeah, I got bullied quite a bit growing up. I was really small, scrawny. I was a little, I guess you would say weird, I'd say unique. And it just didn't fit into the status quo and what's happening or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't popular by any means until I started playing football. And by that point, I was already discovered who I was. Anime was a really good outlet for me. I looked up to a lot of the characters on the show. I was inspired by a lot of their characters in a lot of different series. I was inspired by their work habits. They always had to overcome some obstacles, and I noticed like to overcome some obstacles and to work hard for something. So very relatable characters, and I still watch it to today.
Mike Daniels, always an interesting guy. Mike, thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Kevin James, back up to you guys.
He's got a quad injury. That's why he's not playing. The Pro Bowler. Gain of 1 right there by Buonyo. After 2 12-yard completions, 1 to Kumaro and 1 to St. Brown.
I want to go find the guys
I was going to say
that
the same
used to
thing.
bully Mike Daniels and get him on this team. Where are they? Very personable guy, very personal. They spend any time around him. People just gravitate toward him.
2nd down and 9. Deshaun Kaiser acquired in a trade. Randall was sent to the Browns. Moves up nicely, throws a wobbler, but caught. The tight end grabbing it there, Robert Tonyan out of Indiana State across the middle to the 12. 14-yard pickup. Kaiser's had gains of 12 and 12 and 14 through the air.
Now you call it a wobbler, I call it a ball with more surface area to catch. It's almost a little easier to catch than some of those tight spirals that come in sometimes.
Packers have entered the quick trip red zone. Kaiser looks good. After Hundley looked good. Kaiser last week, 9 of 18 against the Tennessee Titans.
And he had a lot of work down here in what Mike McCarthy calls a tight red zone.
2-minute warning. Packers on the move. Kaiser is moving them. Green Bay has got the 27-14 lead. The 2-minute warning from Lambeau on the Packers television network. 2-minute warning coming up on the Toyota at the half. Our Rod Burks had a chance to sit down earlier this week with Packers defensive lineman Kenny Clark. We'll also check in with your local news and have stats and highlights from tonight's first half. That's coming up on the Toyota Halftime Report. Let's check the ground stats. Powered by Cenex. Be sure to stop at your local Cenex and fuel up on the way to your next Packers game. Cenex is the proud petroleum partner of the Green Bay Packers. It's 1st and 10. Kaiser's hit 3 in a row. Packers have all 3 of their timeouts. Kaiser moves up and tripped up on the play by Levon Hooks out of Ole Miss on that defense of Pittsburgh. He gained 2, falling ahead to the 10.
A really smart non-throw. One of the things that you want to give Mike McCarthy a chance at is calling the next play. And when you do that as a quarterback, coach goes, okay, I'm looking at this list. I got something good. You know, he's working. He's already figured out what the 3rd down play is if they don't pick up the 1st down here.
2nd down and 8. Deshaun Kaiser to the end zone. Going for, there's a flag, and that's going to go on Brian Allen, a 5th-round pick a year ago out of Utah. They were going for the tight end, Tunyon.
Pass interference. Defense number 29. Ball be placed at the 1-yard line. 1st down.
Ball has nice height on it, a little bit of touch. When the receiver turns to go for the ball, the defensive back is already pulling him back away from the ball. Sure, he turned to look at it, but you still can interfere even when you're looking back for the football.
Wanyeo is in the backfield. 1st and goal. Timeout Kaiser. First
charge timeout. Green
Bay. This
Bay.
drive has seen a 14-yard pass to Tunyon, a 12-yard pass to Kumaro, 12-yard pass to St. Brown, and they began at their own 49-yard line. Hey, fans, register your smallest Packers fan for the Junior Power Pack. Green Bay Packers official kids fan club. Visit packers.com/JPP for more information. The Junior Power Pack. Like those guys right there.
I was at a high school in the Upper Peninsula during the
by Doug
offseason,
Brown.
and there was a kid there who had on a Detroit Lions jersey.
The Upper Peninsula is not far from
but
here.
But I told him, I said, if you get 4 more of those jerseys, you can trade them in on 1 Packer jersey.
2 timeouts, 1st and goal, Green Bay.
Tight end out wide with a wide receiver inside. You like those matchups. You kind of know it's man-to-man coverage.
Wanyeo back to the line of scrimmage. You know who's been quiet tonight has been Marquez Valdez-Scantling after his 100-yard receiving game a week ago. 2nd and goal coming up here.
Well, everyone who has had an opportunity to make a play on the ball has done so far exactly what you've asked them to do.
Jamon Moore dropped a couple last week. He was downcast.
Stop that. Stop talking about drop passes when you're sitting next to me. He caught passes all week long during practice, is what you should say. He's ready for a stellar output tonight.
2nd down and
Positive.
goal. You guys always stick together. 2nd down and goal. Kaiser to the end zone again to the tight end. He's got him. Tunyon. Touchdown. And he beat the 1st-round pick of Pittsburgh, Terrell Edmonds. Good looking throw. 1-yard touchdown pass.
I spoke a little too early because earlier I said the Packers have 3 great tight ends. Graham, Lewis, Kendricks. Forgot about Tunyon.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was going to be great tonight. But you've seen a couple big catches. You've seen a pass interference penalty called when he's fighting back for the football. And that time a good hands grab and pulling it away from the defender.
He was a former college quarterback. There's the extra point on the 1-yard touchdown pass. Spent the final 4 weeks of last season on the Green Bay practice squad. Undrafted originally with Detroit, cut. He was a record holder at Indiana State in his freshman year. He was a quarterback, and they transitioned him to a wide receiver.
Who is the other tight end on the Green Bay Packers sideline that people don't talk about. Well, they talk about him a lot, but they don't mention that he's a tight end.
Who?
Mike McCarthy.
And a tight end coach.
That was his position.
Now, where did he play? Where did he play?
He loves the tight end. It's
Baker University.
Baker University.
In Ottawa, Kansas.
Yep. Now, what position did Mike Tomlin play?
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver. 41 receptions, 10 touchdowns his senior year. Everybody always thinks of him as a defensive back coach.
Yeah.
He's going, that was a good catch by
that was a good catch. He said, I got to talk to my first-round pick there. Green Bay scored 20 straight points. They've gotten 2 touchdown passes, one by Rodgers, one by Kaiser. Kickoff Toussaint from Crosby. He'll leave it in the end zone. Each Green Bay quarterback has led a touchdown drive we've not seen from Tim Boyle. Scoring summary presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next. Rodgers talks with the former Notre Dame quarterback. Kaiser started 23 to 25 games at Notre Dame. Kaiser did. His dad played college basketball at Bowling Green. His mom ran track at the University of Toledo. He grew up in the Toledo area. Rudolph is in as the quarterback still, and it's 1st and 10 for him. He's got 3 timeouts, 38 seconds with which to work in the first half. And he's got time in the pocket. Look out for Gilbert! You cannot escape him. You cannot dodge him. Gilbert comes up with a play. It will not be a sack. He's down right at the line of scrimmage. But boy, his fingerprints have been all over this one.
And he was double teamed. The back came over to chip on him. He went past the chip. Then he ran over the tackle. Then he got to the quarterback. Relentless effort. That's what you want from your pass rushers.
Green Bay has got 8 first downs this quarter to the Steelers, none. Pittsburgh's last 4 possessions, losing it on downs, and then 3 consecutive punts. Green Bay's defense, 3 sacks on Pittsburgh's last 4 plays.
And here's a tight end over here to help block on Gilbert.
2nd down, 10. Wobbler, incomplete. And they were looking for their 2nd-round pick. And Rudolph's teammate at Oklahoma State, James Washington. Had a couple of receptions a week ago. Coverage on the play, as you can see there, Dimitri Goodson. Washington set Oklahoma State receiving records and is number 2 in Big 12 history in receiving yards, which says a lot out of that terrific conference.
Sure.
Had 3 1,000-plus yard receiving seasons. 3rd down and 10. Toussaint, the dance, the feel. Then he was lassoed by Burks as he was dancing his way through the middle, and he picks up 5 and he takes it out to about the 30-yard line, and this clock is going to continue to tick. That will take us to halftime. That was an entertaining first half.
Entertaining. I think we got our money's worth for 4 quarters in terms of points.
I agree. So Reggie Gilbert officially with 2.5 sacks. Rodgers had a touchdown pass. Kaiser had a touchdown pass. Hundley had a touchdown run. We're at the half at Lambeau in Green Bay, and the Packers on top. 34-14 over the Steelers.
And we are live with head coach Mike McCarthy coming out of the tunnel. I tell you what, the fans wanted to see it. Last week I was too serious. Let's have some fun. Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Graham look good. The chemistry's there.
Definitely, that was fun. I mean, them two have been having a great camp. You can really see, it all week, and that's really what we're looking for. Try to get Jimmy a couple throws, and I thought Aaron did a heck of a job in the little time he was in there.
I know in the OTAs, Aaron Rodgers said that Tramon Williams was the best cornerback and looked really, really good. Hadn't left a step. He proved it with the pick 6.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely got off to a great start and just, cued the quarterback. Great, great play by Tramon.
Final thing, Reggie Gilbert all over the field. 2.5 sacks, 3 tackles, forced a fumble.
Yeah, Reggie really come into his own the last year, so
and we're just trying to keep giving him as many opportunities as possible. Just a heck of a good young player.
I wasn't as serious this week. Have some fun in the second half, Mike.
All right, take care. Good seeing you.
You too. Mike McCarthy joining us live right here.
That's
Kevin
right.
James, back to you.
That's right. You go right. I like that. Packer quarterbacks combined 13 of 20, but let's talk about the first play of the game. Tramon Williams returning at 25 yards and a pick six.
You're a rookie quarterback, and you're getting the start on the road in historic Lambeau Field. You'll remember that forever, and you'll remember seeing number 12 and going up to him thinking, I wish I could ask him for his autograph right now.
Nice find there with Graham. And then Hundley.
You want from your younger players to continue to stack good performance after good performance after good performance. And Brett Hundley had a whole offseason to look at the plays that he had come up with on film. He didn't have to go back to the preseason. Kaiser, 15 starts last year for the Cleveland Browns. Both these guys have been starters. They've been the man for their team on Sunday. So it's no surprise that they're playing so well on Thursday nights.
Back shoulder throw right there by Kaiser.
Good location, Lambeau leap, all of the above.
13 of 20 combined, 164 yards, 2 touchdown passes, 1 rushing touchdown. And because Pittsburgh got it on the first possession of the game, and then we saw the result with the first pass, first play being picked off by Williams and returned. Kickoff of the second half is presented by Blaine's Farm and Fleet. At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll find an unbeatable selection of denim for the whole family, and right now all jeans are on sale. More fits, more colors and styles, and more brands. And here is the aforementioned Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who had the big game last week, returns at 24 yards. He was the only rookie receiver in the entire league a week ago to go over 100 yards receiving. Tackle made by wide receiver Marcus Tucker.
But you can see that burst that he has on the field, and it's so apparent. There's a difference between everybody else running and Marquez running. He's just a little faster than your average guy.
Quarterback remains Deshaun Kaiser. First down and 10. Bunyol. He'll take it. Getting back to the line of scrimmage. Hit on the play. Brought down by Nate Burhead. The third quarter is sponsored by the Wisconsin Dental Association. Look for the sign of a dentist who is committed to professional excellence and your oral health. Visit WDA.org to find a Wisconsin Dental Association dentist near you. Second down and 10.
You've had to move some of the parts around on the offensive line, and you want to see how guys fit into a position that maybe they haven't been working with every snap during the preseason. So you want some continuity, some cohesion. You want to see how this unit does.
Spriggs at the left tackle. Kaiser deep and dropped by St. Brown. Coverage by Sutton. Third and 10.
Pass a little bit behind, but that's one that as a receiver you want to come up with because you want to show your mettle. Going across the deep middle, you know there's going to be a hit from the free safety. The corner's right behind you. You want to come up with that play, and it's tough going back to the huddle, looking around at the 5 offensive linemen who are sweating profusely. Look at them going, hey, I just dropped an easy pass over the middle.
Murphy playing the right tackle. Pankey is at the right guard. Center remains Dylan Day, who came off the Denver Broncos practice squad. Third down and 10 for Kaiser. And that is caught. With the tackle made by Deshaun Phillips. And there is Valdez-Scantling. A 15-yard reception, heavily covered to the 37, first and 10.
You know, one of the things when you think about the Green Bay Packers and you thought about Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb playing together, you always thought of Randall Cobb as this kind of slot receiver. But what we heard from Mike McCarthy is he wants the receivers to learn all 3 positions, both outside positions and the inside.
After his first reception, here's a first and 10. Bunyol was tripped up, it looks like, by Matakevich with a gain of 3, wheeling his way to the 40-yard line.
I like the way Bunyol runs the football. There's an urgency when he's running. He can see the hole. He knows that it's not going to be wide forever. You've got to get to it quickly but you don't want to rush. You want the blockers to be able to play out in front of you, and then you want to be fast through the hole, and I think he does that pretty well.
Bonio, undrafted, originally with Chicago in camp last year, released. A top 10 all-time rusher in Northern Illinois history. Second down and
Michael
7.
Burner Turner.
There's an pass and a quick slant thrown in back of and incomplete for receiver Jamon Moore. Excuse me.
You wonder on that route, was the route at the right depth? You see the ball a little bit behind. Right. Quarterback have the good footwork. There's so many moving parts that make it look easy that when it doesn't, you go, okay, what happened there?
Third down and 7. Deshaun Kaiser. Now they're working on Spriggs with the pressure. That was intended for Equanimeous St. Brown. Incomplete on the side. And the Packer punting unit will take the field. And this first possession of the second half will fizzle in a punt.
You had a chance for the deep crossing route over the middle. That would have been a nice bonus play. You had it blocked up well. And like you said, that drive kind of just fizzled. They'll go back, they'll look at the tablets, they'll figure out what they needed to do, and you move on to the next series. You can't let that burden you as you go out to play the next series.
J.K. Scott, high hanger, fair, caught at the 13. Hang time of about 5 seconds. That was a beauty. Well placed, 46 yards with hang. We step aside with 12.5 to play in the third quarter from Lambeau in Green Bay.
This Packers preseason game is sponsored by Spectrum, Menards, Forefront Dermatology, and Chevrolet.
New quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers is Joshua Dobbs. He's from the Atlanta area. Originally committed to Arizona State. Changed his commitment and played at Tennessee. The 1st and 10. Handoff here to Jalen Samuels. He's a rookie out of North Carolina State. There is no gain. Hit by a couple on that line. Losing a yard. 2nd 11 downstairs to Lance.
All right. Thank you very much, Kevin. We're here with Davante Adams. And Davante, was it like old times getting that slant pattern from Aaron Rodgers? And did you realize that Morgan Burnett, your old teammate, was trailing on the play?
Yeah, I did. It felt good finally getting the connection back with 12. I saw Mo in there. I wish we didn't have to do it to him, but that's my guy. He would have took care of me if he got to me a little earlier. So I didn't do anything crazy.
That's why we like live interviews. You can get their reaction. The other thing is the rookie receivers. What's the #1 question they're asking you right now? And there's an interception and a pick 6 by Josh.
Oh yeah. What was the question?
That's a pick 6 by Josh Jackson. But the question was, what are the rookie receivers asking you?
Hey, they're like all open books right now. It's real exciting. It's good to be able to play with them because they want to learn and they all really busting their butt right now. So it makes my job easy because they ask all the questions. So now I just giving them all I know. I try to lead by example, go out there and do as much as I can so that they can see the right way to do things. And they're doing a good job during the game right now.
We're going to send it back up top, but man, every time we have you on, it's probably a pick 6, right?
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Maybe, hopefully we keep going. They called something. I don't know what went down, but I saw 37 just made a play, so we're going to keep that going.
All right, Davante Adams live on the sideline. Kevin, James, back to you.
Josh Jackson with the pick 6. He had 8 picks at Iowa. He returned 2 for touchdowns and just raced 22 yards picking off the pass of Joshua Dobbs as the Packers build their lead 40-14. He's one of the 2 high draft picks by Green Bay, a 2nd-round pick. Jackson took it and flew. The 2nd pick 6 by the Packers secondary that only had 11 interceptions all of last year with their 2nd tonight.
The unsportsmanlike foul that we had against number 91 Green Bay counts as his first towards his disqualification.
Packers, who had just one pick six all of last season, totaled 11 overall interceptions, have had 2 interceptions tonight and 2 pick sixes. Williams on the first play of the game, rookie Josh Jackson moments ago. So for each Pittsburgh quarterback, his first pass of the game is intercepted for a touchdown. There's a look at Jackson, who played at the University of Iowa. There was an unsportsmanlike conduct against Green Bay's Kendall Donnerson. So that's why the ball's being kicked off at the 20-yard line. And being kicked off by J.K. Scott, the rookie punter, who's been taking some kickoff practice in practice and kicks it out of bounds, which Ron Zook, the special teams coach, is not going to like.
Free kick, out of bounds, kicking team. Ball be placed at the 50-yard line. First down.
The Packers defense tonight.
But just jumping on it right from the very first play of the game, a little late coming back to the left.
Correction, the ball will be placed at the 45-yard line.
You've got to be able to drive that defensive back off. He's got to be afraid of your speed. You can see in both cases, both corners just sitting on him, not worried about getting run by. Great job by Josh Jackson. That penalty after the interception must have been a dead ball foul, because if it had happened during the play, you would have brought the play back, but it's a dead ball foul. You have to kick off from further back. The kickoff goes out of bounds, and the officiating crew is going, let's see, we normally do this from the 30-yard line. Where do we move it? Somebody had to pull out a couple pieces of paper so they could do the math.
James, you are on your game tonight. Jalen Samuels is in the backfield. Quarterback Joshua Dobbs. One of our officials tonight is Sarah Thomas. As you take a look at Ron Torbert, there's Sarah right there. They call that position now the down judge. It was the head linesman. But because they've got a female, they changed the name of it. It's not a head linesman. Now that position is called the down judge.
Because the head lines person didn't have a ring to it.
Down judge is good.
Yeah. What you realize when you are out on the field and how they move officials around, how athletic they have to be.
Yes.
So at some point, I don't know what her athletic background was, whether it was lacrosse or soccer or whatever. She must have been a really good athlete. And then you gravitate toward football and you learn how to be an official. And every one of these officials that we see out on the field, they start at Pop Warner. Nobody jumps straight from officiating class to college. You take the little steps up, you earn your way up, and you get to the NFL, you get to the collegiate level, or if you're a high school official and you've been doing it for 35 years, thanks for your service, because these high school kids need you out there.
She grew up in Mississippi. And we have another stoppage right here. First woman to officiate a major college football game. The first to officiate a bowl game, Sarah Thomas. And the first to officiate in a Big Ten stadium.
I think they're having some discussion on where the ball was possibly placed.
By the way, she lettered 5 times in softball. You were wondering if she was an athlete.
Softball.
I'd
say that's an athlete.
Pascagoula High School.
Please reset the play clock
Mississippi.
to 25 seconds. Clock will start on my whistle.
She began her officiating career back in 1996.
Okay, so 20-year workup to get to the NFL level. Because this is their 3rd year. Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to be right about one thing tonight.
No, you have. You were right. You've been holding that little nugget. Yeah, 2015. So Dobbs has got his receiver, and that is James Washington. The 2nd-round pick out of Oklahoma State, a 20-yard pickup, and that is a first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they'll be at the Green Bay 25.
And I want to say, is that the first time the Steelers have kind of moved the pocket with a little bootleg action? Something that they probably wouldn't do a whole lot with Ben Roethlisberger at this point of his career. Get him outside the numbers to throw the football.
Dobbs, a 4th-round pick out of Tennessee a season ago. And some missed tackles, and finally brought down in the linebacking core by James Crawford. He was signed last Wednesday on the 8th of August. He's a rookie free agent out of Illinois. He just grabbed Samuels after he gained 6, making it 2nd down and 4.
Start the substitutions, and it still has to be where those front 7, they fill the gaps. Because you can't leave a gap exposed. If you're a linebacker, you can't overrun it, you can't miss it. You've got to understand your assignment and where your fit is.
Dobbs deep into the end zone and caught for a touchdown. What a grab by James Washington. Jousting in the back of the end zone, a 19-yard touchdown throw by Dobbs, who threw a pick and an interception with a touchdown last week. Is than a pick 6 tonight, but a 19-yard touchdown pass right there to the athletic rookie James Washington.
Now, some Packer fans may remember the name of Chris Chambers, fine receiver at the University of Wisconsin. Body-wise, that's what James Washington looks like. Those arms, when he buys shirts, they're triple extra long in the sleeve length. I was watching him down on the field before the game because, you know, you hear a 2nd-round pick, you want to see what they look like in person. Extremely long arms, just like Chris Chambers, who was a star with the Miami Dolphins and with the Chargers, but very similar body type.
They're going for 2. This is Dobbs with a foot race, and Jones following over the pylon, and that is a 2-point conversion. Athletic move. Dimitri Goodson was just beaten for a 19-yard touchdown pass to Washington by Pittsburgh quarterback Joshua Dobbs and the celebrated rookie James Washington for the Steelers. Titletown is a new community development just west of Lambeau Field, featuring gathering space where all are welcome to explore, play, eat, relax, enjoy. Visit Titletown.com for more. The kickoff goes to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's out of South Florida. And he is brought down by Jordan Dangerfield out of Towson. 18-yard return. The scoring summary is presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next. 19-yard touchdown pass, Dobbs to Washington.
You are now, as a coaching staff, checking out pressure points. How does your team, how do your players respond to a bad drive, a bad play, frustration? Can they stay focused on the job at hand?
Kaiser, the quarterback. It is a 1st and 10 with a run here by Akeem Judd. With a gain of a yard on the play, he was with the Jets. Was Judge waived by the Tennessee Titans last year off their practice squad. Signed by the Jets, played in December, then went on IR, released in May, and signed by Green Bay. When the Packers were having some injuries, as there are right now through camp, and their running back core. 2nd down and 9. We saw Judd last week. He has a little shimmy to him, doesn't he?
He does.
See if he's got some hands that go to the other way. Oh, it's caught by Kumaro! Look at him go! There he goes. It's a foot race on the play with Burhay. Galloping touchdown! Woo! 82-yard catch and run. Jake Kumaro out of Wisconsin Whitewater. Mom and Dad Tammy and Dad Eric watching. The dad was the #1 pick by the Miami Dolphins from the Chicago area, where he is a great high school basketball player. He just watched his son race 82.
When you take your kid out in the backyard and you're throwing the ball around with him for the first time, you go tell all the neighbors about how good he's going to be. you never expect it to get to this level. You're kind of hoping in the back of your mind, you think, well, maybe somebody's got to do it. He is having a fantastic preseason so far. We had talked about fantastic camp. He's having a fantastic preseason. Hope he didn't hurt his shoulder when he barreled into the end zone there.
Well, we know the story about him, a former practice squad player with Cincinnati 2 years. New England signed him last October. Green Bay then signed him right at the end of last season. Final week, he began his college career as a walk-on at Illinois.
And it's a one-on-one matchup. Kumaro is the winner here. He's going to drive up the field, and he sticks his foot in the ground. You see the separation there. It's just enough. And now the vision to realize I'm going to turn this safety around and sprint into the end zone.
He had a 52-yard touchdown reception last week against Tennessee. And he's looking to become the first Warhawks player to debut in the NFL since Derek Stanley in 2007. The last Whitewater player in the NFL was punter Matt Turk, a three-time Pro Bowl punter.
Played for a long time, yeah.
17 years. Last played in 2011.
What's the average? 40 yards a catch now?
It's huge.
Oh, wow.
His sister used to play basketball at Whitewater, and the dad called the coach and said, hey, would you be interested in my son? He's a pretty good athlete, too. He was, they did, and here's the result. And they'll bring it out right here. Quadri Henderson, who is out of the University of Pittsburgh, a rookie free agent. Kumaro never played in an NFL game, but he's played a lot in the practice squad, and he is wowing the Packers in this training camp. The scoring summary presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next. In the regular season, the Packers haven't had an 80-yard offensive play since 2014.
I thought you were going to say since 1980-something.
When James Lofton caught a Lynn Dickey pass and got a block from Paul Kaufman and was striding down the field. No, did you? Did Kaufman ever block for you? Did he?
Oh, yeah.
He must have.
Yes.
He must
have. Very good teammate.
48-22. Green Bay is on top. Dobbs, the quarterback for the Steelers, remains. And a broken tackle there by the running back for the Steelers, Samuels. It's a gain of 4. And missing him there was Greer Martini, a rookie free agent out of Notre Dame.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
The most important play of the game is?
Well,
the next play. That's the way you have to think when you're Greer Martini. You're in this open space. You kind of miss a tackle. The most important play is the next play. Put that play behind you. And if he had made a tackle for a 10-yard loss, the most important play is the next play.
Second down and 6 for Dobbs. Samuels again. Undrafted. Let go by Arizona. 1-year player out of East Carolina. Gain of 5 on the play. Martini was there that time. They get to the 35.
You didn't know there was going to be an exam, did you?
Well, I know there's always an exam for you. I'm kind of hoping he makes it just because I like that name.
Greer, yeah, that is a nice name.
Greer Martini. He was part of a kind of a tryout, undrafted. He made an impression on the Packers coaching staff
for the rookie camp.
and the rookie tryout camp. You're right. 3rd and 1. Samuels, good cut, good block, first down. Pyle drives his way. There goes a flag. Hit on the play by Josh Hawkins in the Green Bay secondary as he took the ball out to about the 42, but the flag is going to be against Pittsburgh.
3rd down.
And that run starts to the right, veers back wide open to the left. Always talk about this. Offensive linemen, they're blocking, pushing to the right, and that running back jumps to the left. And now they get exposed because their arms are out, they're still holding. It is a tough thing to do as an offensive lineman. You've got to run your feet. That's what you would hear if you had practice. Run your feet, and not so much just grab with your hands.
Pharaoh McKeever picked up that holding penalty and wiped out what was a first down run. 3rd and 11. Joshua Dobbs waiting back to Landry Jones last year, flush from the pocket, on the move, and throws a pass
Wow.
Franco Harris down with a bounce off of a shoulder pad or something. Helmet perhaps. Ricochets incomplete.
You don't see a ball ricochet.
No, I know
that
it.
ball went 35 yards forward and then another 25 yards backwards like it was on a yo-yo string.
Unless Franco Harris is there to reel it in. Huh?
Now, do you know what Franco said about that play? The reason
He's
that
not sure himself.
The reason that he broke up the field is that's what they had always taught them at Penn State. When that ball's thrown up the field, you immediately turn and run up the field. He said, just instinctively, I was running up the field and the ball came straight to me.
Bury the punt. Josh Jackson is back. Hang time of 4.97. Here comes the rookie. He has a pick six and an entourage. The punter to beat. And from behind he is brought down by Marcus Tucker. Sifting through traffic and taking it deep into Pittsburgh territory on a 38 punt return. 38-yard punt return. Kumaro, the catch, the run, the move, the leap, and mom and dad are loving 82-yard touchdown, catch and run. It's 48-22 with Green Bay on top. They got another quarterback in there. Rodgers began. This is Tim Boyle, rookie free agent out of Eastern Kentucky, undrafted. Began at UConn. Transferred to Eastern Kentucky. First down and 10. Played well last week. The handoff here to Akeem Judd, who's 2 years out of Mississippi, with a gain of 2 to the 38 of Pittsburgh. Downstairs, Lance Allen.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. It's Muhammad Wilkerson, one of the new guys. And Muhammad, since you're so quiet and we're getting to know you, what is one thing you want the fans to know about you?
There you go. You told them I'm quiet, laid back, but when it's time to get in the trenches here and in between these lines, I'm a different person.
Clark, Lowry, Adams, you've got so many weapons and options on the defensive line, and now you. What is that going to be like this season?
It's going to be fun. Just training camp, working with these guys each and every day, getting better. As a group, we can be special. We just got to keep pushing each other every day, come in, work hard, and, do our job and do our assignment. And at the end of the day, have fun.
What's it like to go up against Aaron Rodgers in practice every day?
That's great. Going up against a great quarterback like that each and every day is only going to make everybody on the team better. So I'm happy to be here.
You shared one thing with me. I know that you went to the Green Bay Qdoba and something special happened. That wouldn't have happened in New York. What happened at the Green Bay Qdoba?
I went to the Qdoba and met some high school guys, and they bought my dinner. So that was
nice. That
was something new. I wasn't expecting that, but I was definitely thankful for those guys to buy me dinner, and we sat, and talked a little football.
Muhammad, thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Muhammad Wilkerson getting free dinners at Qdoba. How about that, guys? Kevin and James, back to you.
Wish we get one up here. There's a catch, and on the move, Jamon Moore. Good-looking throw by Tim Boyle. Tackle made by Matthew Thomas out of Florida State, rookie free agent, and there's a flag. It's against the Packers.
You don't like a holding call on a quick pass, a three-step drop.
The line now has Spriggs at left tackle, Pankey at left guard, Day at center. They got Bell at right guard, Murphy at right tackle.
Both against the offense. Pass interference, offense, number 36. That penalty's declined.
Akeem Judd, the running
Legal
back.
use of hands to the face. Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
But like I said, you don't like a holding call. So that's hands to the face. And that can happen because when you're punching in the chest area, the defensive lineman dips down a little bit, and all of a sudden that hand just gently slips up from the throat to the face mask. And never intentional.
He showed a lot of skill last week. Boyle did against Tennessee. Maybe worth a practice squad position. Put up 17 points last week against the Titan defense. Quarterback rating of 116. 3rd and 19 here. Pressure from the side. Stands in the pocket and knocked away. Malik Golden got a handout out of Penn State.
He stared that one down a little bit. Golden, who had played corner on the opposite side, jammed his receiver, and then he drops back into the short zone, and he's watching the quarterback's eyes. And you could see Mike McCarthy almost mouth to him, get that out a little bit early. Get it out a little bit early because the route was there.
Last week he had 4 passes dropped.
Where they didn't complete the catch. That's what you meant, right? Not drop?
No, I did not mean. J.K. Scott to punt. High, hanging, well placed. Can it stay in? Nope. 5:16 here in the third. Net 29. Punt went 49. Tonight, clothing is provided by the Packers Pro Shop. Shop for anything and everything a Packer fan could want. Shop at your heart's content and to your heart's content at Lambeau Field or online at PackersProShop.com. And they're also offering these 100th anniversary glasses. We poured ourselves a couple of soft drinks before the game, and they're terrific, and you can order them online. You can go down to the Pro Shop and get them. They got the commemorative coin.
PackersProShop.com?
Yes, yes. PackersProShop.com. We thank them for letting us see all the great things to commemorate these next 2 seasons with this 100th anniversary celebration. Dobbs 1st and 10. He goes underneath and grabbed here by Damone Patterson out of Youngstown State. Like we said, he had 6 receptions a week ago against Philadelphia.
One of the things that Mike McCarthy talked to us about this morning is that they do not want to try and teach players how not to hit. They don't want to say, oh, when you're coming in and you got your shoulders down, make sure your head isn't here. They want them to play football freely and understand, yeah, you want to take your helmet out, you can't leave with the crown of your helmet and all that. But they don't want them thinking cautiously out there as they're playing on defense.
2nd down 7 with Samuels in the backfield. He was coming out of the backfield. And he was covered on the play by Ahmad Thomas. And Ahmad Thomas, who played safety at Oklahoma, is one of those players Mike talked to us about this morning who he's really got an eye on.
The game is so spread out now. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back, that you don't have linebackers out there playing who are 6'3", 265 pounds in the middle. If they are, those are rush type of guys. But if you're a coverage linebacker, you better be under 240 and be able to run. Look at Ahmad Thomas, 6 feet, 220.
Burks is like
exactly.
That. Yeah. Pittsburgh has not converted a 3rd down tonight. 0-7 on this 3rd and 7. Dobbs is off to the races, needs the 30-yard line, and has the 1st down. He was chased on the play by Vince Beagle out of Wisconsin. Missed all of last camp last year with injuries, gaining 9 and a 1st down right there by the scrambling Pittsburgh quarterback Dobbs. Mike told us that Mike McCarthy told us that they're back to the notebooks. The tablets are still being used, but only for video. Now notebooks. He wants the players writing in a book to help retention. Dobbs going deep, and he's got his man. It's Washington again. And he was working on Hawkins. A completion of 54 yards. A record center at Oklahoma State, and the 2nd-round rookie is impressing tonight here in Lambeau.
I like what I saw from Dobbs on that throw because he kind of saw it late. Doesn't get the ball out there early. Right there, he's open, but he had to muscle that ball and throw it on a line to get it there. You had 2 receivers stacked. 1 went underneath, and when that receiver went underneath, the free safety came out of the middle. You cannot come out of the middle. You've got to be deeper than the deepest if you're in the middle of the field. Washington
had a 35-yard reception last week against the Eagles. Good for 54 yards in the completion there from the 14. Samuels on 1st and 10. Gets inside, and the tackle was made after a gain of 4 by the interior of that line and led by Joey Mbu, who's out of Houston. Mbu. So when you were playing, they didn't have tablets.
Nope.
But you wrote.
I don't think they had invented the computer at that time.
No,
I had one of those Apple IIes.
Oh, did you?
And I remember bringing it home, going, "Okay, what does it do?" Just a big keyboard with a screen.
2nd down and 6. Samuels again into a thicket of Packer linemen. Looney in there, the rookie out of Cal, a 7th-round pick for Green Bay in the middle for Coach Mike McCarthy.
You know, this is one of those extended drives. You see some of the players with their hands on their hips. Morris got up a little slow. He's going to have to lead the game now because they stopped the game.
Yes, they did.
So he's going to have to find his way off, and whoever his backup is has to come on. Now, I love what offensive linemen do when they come in to warm up. They squat down like twice, and that's it. Receivers, you're running on the sideline. You're making sure your hamstrings and your quads and everything is all loose, and you're shaking out. Linemen, 2 knee bends, and they're ready to go. That's all it takes.
I think they're bringing in Larson Graham to take his place.
You saw him doing 2 knee bends, right?
I saw with a couple of knee bends. Maybe it's Chris Schluber.
It's hard to tell because his hair is covering his nameplate, which I think should be illegal.
3rd and 4.
Well, there it is, Schluber. He moved the hair away.
He is out of UAB, rookie free agent. Joshua Dobbs. Another whistle. And we've got movement on the Pittsburgh side.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 64, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's an R.J. Prince. He is out of North Carolina, rookie free agent. They've got a terrific line, as we know. Their center is Marquise Pouncey. Their 2 guards are Ramon Foster and All-Pro first team David DeCastro. Their tackles are Alejandro Villanueva. He was a Pro Bowl player a year ago, and Marcus Gilbert's on the right side. So backup positions are what these kids are fighting for. 3rd and 9. Good time for Dobbs. On the screws, caught there, Pharaoh McKeever. He's inside the 3, close to the 2. He's got the first down, a pickup of 10. Good throw by Dobbs.
Time in the pocket. You're going to be able to find people. You run some people deep. You drag somebody across underneath. Dobbs very patient because he has good legs, so he's able to escape if there's a pass rush on him. But that time, just sitting in the pocket, delivered a strike.
It's 1st and goal. Samuels. About a yard down to the 1. Hit by a couple right there, including Embu.
It almost seems like each and every running back plays for the Steelers picks up a little bit of the traits of Le'Veon Bell. You take the ball. It's not a quick burst to the hole. It's let the offensive line do their job. Where's the leverage here? Where can we scoot to? They're doing a really nice job of feeling out the runs.
2nd and goal. Slicing in is the running back, Jalen Samuels, who set a record at North Carolina State for touchdowns and for receptions. 5th round pick out of NC State. Samuels takes it in, 1-yard touchdown run. And the big play, the 54-yard pass to James Washington.
Once again, that card that Mike Tomlin has on the sideline says go for 2. Or maybe the kicker, sir. One or the other.
They're going to go for 2 again. Dobbs got the 2-point conversion a couple series ago. On a run over the pylon. Going for 2. Drop, nice defensive play. Looked like Lindsey Pipkins got his hand in there and knocked it away. Tomlin, of course, loves going for 2. The score would mandate that, but he loves going for 2 anyway.
Well, he talked about it when they first changed the rule, that he would go for 2 all the time. You know, he went back on that a little bit. But if you were to probably take the percentages, you would have to think that your team would be above 50% from the 2-yard line and moving the ball. Wouldn't you think that?
Yes.
I mean, the average gain per play is right under 5 yards per play. So you've got 2 law of averages. There's some high school teams that go for 2 all the time, and there's one team that onside kicks every time. And they win state championship. Down in Arkansas, they win state championship after state championship at the level that they play. So it's something to think about.
Lance, what do you have downstairs?
Jake Kumaro, Kevin, has a shoulder injury. He is still on the sideline, but I doubt we will see him the rest of the night. Jake Kumaro, shoulder injury. Back to you.
After he's caught 2 long touchdown receptions in 2 consecutive games. That's Doc McKenzie there.
I just hope it didn't happen on that tumble into the end zone.
Valdez Scantling will take it out. On the kickoff, nice tackle made there by Nate Burhay, who's got 5 years experience in the National Football League. A flag has been thrown where the tackle was made at the 21. 14-yard return. Valdez-Scantling, boy, he was the talk of every national.
Last week.
My goodness, he was. They talked about him on every national show, and fastest player on the Packers.
Legal block, receiving team, number 82. 10-yard penalty.
Demond Moore just picked up a penalty. Well, the scoring summary for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 1-yard touchdown run by Samuels, is presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next. Big play, 54-yard pass to Washington. Also got McKeever on a 10-yard pass, which was good for a first down. So Tim Boyle remains in the game for Green Bay, 1st and 10. Bunyol is in the backfield. Offers a block. Nice catch is made. Flag thrown. Adonis Jennings, a rookie out of Temple, grabbed it right in front of Jamar Summers. 8-yard pickup, and let's see what the flag is. The gain to the 18.
Pass interference. Defense number 30. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul. First down.
This Pittsburgh defense a year ago was number 1 in the National Football League in sacks. They had 56 of them, setting a Steeler record. They were 7th in points allowed, 5th in total defense.
But the lasting memory is not being able to get to Blake Bortles, giving up all those points against Jacksonville, and that sticks with you the whole offseason, regardless of everything you did to go 13-3.
Wow, look at the run up the middle by the linebacker, L.J. Fort. That's the final play of the 3rd quarter. Green Bay loses 8.
That is the
Jake Kummerow has done it again. Last week, a long touchdown reception of 52. This week, he catches and runs 82 yards. Let's go to the 4th on the Packers Television Network. Beautiful night here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The 4th quarter is brought to you by Concordia University, Wisconsin, proud to be the preferred MBA of the Green Bay Packers. Visit cuw.edu/Packers to learn more. Concordia University. Live uncommon. We go to the 4th quarter, 2nd down, 19. Boyle. Bunyol will stagger ahead, hit initially by Malik Golden, and kind of crawls his way for 5 up to the 14-yard line.
When you're on the sideline during a preseason game and all this hot and heavy action is going on, the team is scoring, they're moving the ball, and then you get in and it's kind of a little bit more of a grind. That's when you have to focus. Forget about what the other guys did. Concentrate on your assignment each and every play. You're on the offensive line. Who do you double team? Who's the linebacker that you're responsible for on the blitz? All those minor details have to be taken care of to create big plays.
3rd down and 14. Boyle, nice throw, and it's caught up the middle by Emmanuel Byrd. That's a first down toss on 3rd and 14. It's a gain of 22 to the Green Bay 36, right on the money.
Like I mentioned earlier about the 5 great tight ends that the Packers employ. When you major in throwing the football and you major in using the tight end, Mike McCarthy, former tight end, has been looking for this. And you're looking at a roster with 5 guys who've come in and done what they're supposed to do when the ball's been thrown in their direction from the tight end position.
Let's talk about Byrd after this play. 1st and 10, 36-yard line. Spriggs the block at the tackle. And here is another catch by the aforementioned Byrd, picks up 5. So he ended last season on the active roster with Green Bay, had a couple catches, you may recall, against the Lions. He was a late addition last summer. He spent 8 weeks in the practice squad last year, elevated in December, undrafted originally with Kansas City. First couple years of college football, he played quarterback and tight end at Georgia Military College. He was originally going to go to UAB, but then they dropped the program.
Yeah.
Good. 2nd down and 5. Bunyol. And there to meet him is L.J. Fort out of Northern Iowa.
You know, we're seeing guys with great composure, because Byrd, he's watching the 1st quarter, he's watching the 2nd quarter. He's probably been told by the tight end coach, you're not going to play until the 4th quarter. How hard is that to stay focused, to wait your turn, and then when your turn comes in and performs, catch 2 passes back to back, and they're going to be looking at what did he do in the run game, what did he do here and there. So far, so good for Bird.
You know what they say, a bird in the hand. 3rd and 6. Flag, and for more, another drop. The coverage on the play by Sutton, who had a pick last week against Philadelphia and a forced fumble. Jamon Moore is having a tough time in these games.
Number 20.
Getting inside his head.
Is it? I mean, you know, tell us about it. I mean, what do you do as a receiver?
Well, I remember as a receiver coach, the one thing that I would just work on the guys with is you work on this play. Now, there's a little bit of hand fighting going on. He doesn't get the second hand in, but you want to go up and be strong to the ball. Remember last week, he elevated on one, got a pass interference call, elevated on another on the far sideline, didn't make the catch. But that one he kind of just waited on, and he knows that he's getting jostled. Go up strong to make that catch.
3rd down 1. Yo, he's got the first down. And then some into the secondary. Sutton brings him down. Hard running, slipping tackles to the 37-yard line of Pittsburgh with an 18-yard first down run.
You know, a lot of those old cliche things that we used to say, or we heard our parents say, well, he's not chopped liver. Now, I wasn't a big liver eater, and maybe if you chopped it up, it wasn't any better than what it was. But you're watching a guy who is on the depth chart, maybe the 5th guy, but he doesn't look like a 5th guy. Like I said, all these guys were high school stars, college stars. Now they come up here, it looks like a night of stars for the Packers, top to bottom.
Yo, once again, he'll take it. Finally brought down on the play after his 18-yard run. Hit there. No gain on the play. For the Steeler defense a year ago, a major issue, missed tackles. And they missed some on that one. Now, of course, these are all, first and second year players for the most part, but that was a lingering issue into this season with their defense of Mike Tomlin.
Well, when you reduce practice time at the collegiate level, at the professional level.
Good point.
And you are also, the players come in such great shape, you don't have to work them into football shape by playing football. So you take out tackling a lot at practice.
Boyle out of the pocket with a 2nd down and 10. Tunyon, the tight end, hit by Matthew Thomas out of Florida State with a gain of about 5 to the 32-yard line of Pittsburgh. Boyle was the high school player of the year in the state of Connecticut and was recruited by everybody. He was recruited by Penn State, Notre Dame, and Florida. And he chose Boston College originally. They had a coaching change. He decommitted, and he went to UConn.
A little confusion when the receivers broke the huddle here. They kind of looked back and said, okay, what are we doing here?
Boyle on 3rd and 5. Way outside, and Adonis Jennings was double-teamed.
Didn't look like Adonis Jennings really picked that ball up. He's running down the sideline.
Yeah, you're right.
A little bit of a flat throw there.
How would you do it when you'd run like that down the field and swing your head around? How would you locate the ball?
Number one, you don't want to really turn your head too rapidly because you can go right past the ball. The ball you're expecting to come over your outside shoulder in an arc. So you kind of just peer up a little bit out of the corner of your right eye if you're going down the left sideline, and you expect that ball to drop in.
Interesting.
If you whip your head all the way back around, you're not going to see the quarterback throw the ball as you're running forward.
50-yard field goal try, and it is good! Mason Crosby has kicked 2 50-plus yard field goals tonight. How about that? He nailed a 53-yarder in the first half and drills a 50-yarder right here for Green Bay, who extend their lead over the Steelers 51-28 at Lambeau. To kick off will be J.K. Scott after the 50-yard field goal by Mason Crosby. Out of the end zone, the fourth quarter is brought to you by Concordia University, Wisconsin. Proud to be the preferred MBA of the Green Bay Packers. Visit cuw.edu/Packers to learn more. Concordia University. Live uncommon. Crosby in 2016 and 17 regular season only had 2 field goals of 50 yards or more. He's got 2 tonight. He's looked terrific. And his,
preseason numbers don't mean anything, but you get a preseason confidence that you carry over into the regular season.
Dobbs gets away, 1st and 10. Bobbled and brought in by Trey Griffey out of the University of Arizona. Was let go by Miami. Gain of 12. Let's go downstairs to Lance.
Kevin, we're here with David Bakhtiari, left tackle, and I understand in the offseason you learned the entire offense, every position, through their eyes. Why did you do that?
You talking about me?
Yeah, talking about you.
I don't know where you heard that from. But you try and pick up more every year you get in the league, so make the game slow down. Obviously, you figure out your position when you're younger, so pick up a little bit, but I don't know about knowing every single player in position. I don't know about that.
Lane Taylor, obviously he's a guy that you played alongside. You've been out a little bit. He's been out a little bit. Is it really that big of a deal, though, for you guys? Is it kind of like just going about your business?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get a chance to play a game, it's important. To me, it's always knocking off the rust in preseason and getting out there and getting those, as close as you can live activity reps, because you can only simulate so much in practice. But I mean, we played a lot of football together, so I'm not really too worried about us making sure we get our reps in here, because I think we'll be good come regular season.
51 points tonight. How good can this offense be?
Very good. I mean, should have took the over.
and you can tell in a live TV setting, you never know with David Bakhtiari. You're kind of like the class clown. You got any jokes up your sleeve? I mean, last year in Washington, I'm talking to you, and you're like the rookies are allegedly got this receipt for thousands of dollars, all this stuff. You always got something up your sleeve, right?
You got to have fun what you do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game. You want to bring energy and having fun brings out a lot of energy. And I mean, I love what I do. I have a lot of fun out here seeing these guys go out there and play. I was able to be out there on a couple scoring possessions, which was awesome, and seeing the young guys get out there and play. It's great. I mean, like I said, it's a lot of points. It's a lot of fun when you're scoring points.
David, I always appreciate the time. Always have a laugh. Thanks.
Of course, yeah. Take care.
All right. David Bakhtiari joining us right here on the Packers TV Network. Guys, back up to you.
Damone Patterson just caught a 29-yard pass.
Legal use of hands to the face.
Was a flag.
Defense, number 56.
It went on Green Bay.
First down.
Penalty was declined. Ahmad Thomas was guilty of the infraction, a 29-yard completion, and the ball to the 33 of Green Bay. Bakhtiari, remember, injured that left ankle Saturday on the family night at Lambeau, August 4th. Carted to the locker room. Missed a week of practice, began this past Monday, and I'm pretty certain that had he not been able to go tonight, that Aaron Rodgers probably wouldn't have played.
And he had what was described as a basic ankle sprain. We have high ankle sprains, low ankle sprains, midfoot sprains. So his was a basic sprain, the kind that you used to get when you had those Converse with the canvas on.
Beagle from behind brings down the quarterback, Dobbs. It is a sack and a loss of a yard. Good to see him back out there, because he really had a tough go last year. Injured to begin last season, a Jones fracture, surgery on both feet. Made his debut. Beagle did in November. He's probably been passed by Gilbert. He's just trying to reclaim himself here in his second year, but he does have camp, and that has been important for him. 2nd and 11. Quick slant. Patterson brought down by Herb Waters, has had a very quiet camp in the secondary for the Packers.
Which in some ways can be a good thing, because you're not running 5 yards behind somebody who's wide open, and you want to get in, do your job. The other thing that you're just talking about with the linebackers, you're watching somebody else ascend and you're watching them play. You've got to really focus in on what you're doing, not get so absorbed with what the other guys who are fighting for roster spots, and you understand you're fighting for one. Just focus on your job.
3rd down and 8 for Joshua Dobbs. Here he goes. Beagle in pursuit. Can't bring him down. Looks like he leaps for a first down with Donatello Brown ushering him out of play. He gets the first down, picking up 9. They move the chains and put him at the Green Bay 22.
And we've seen good quarterback play out of the Green Bay Packers. Joshua Dobbs, who knows where he is on their roster, where they think of him. They start Mason Rudolph in this ballgame. He's come in, and when you watch him move in the pocket, there's something special. There's a quickness to get away from the pass rush, to be able to still look down the field and deliver the football. So just as many questions.
Second charge.
That we have
Timeout,
about
Pittsburgh.
Who's shaking out on the
Timeout on the
lineup. Looks like the Steelers have a lot of those same questions. That's what the preseason is all about.
There's a timeout, 6.5 to go in this one. Packers in control.
Correction, that was Pittsburgh's first timeout of the second half.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll find an unbeatable selection of denim for the whole family, and right now all jeans are on sale. More fits, more colors and styles, and more brands. Well, we just had the timeout taken by Pittsburgh. The Packer offense tonight, 4 touchdowns, 3 field goals, no turnovers. Special teams had the lone giveaway, and that was a fumble on a kickoff return by Montgomery. So, Mike said something interesting when we were talking to him today about the way he views his
Mike,
team.
not their Mike.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep showing that Mike. And Mike McCarthy. That's Mike Tomlin. But Mike McCarthy was telling us that I look at the team as 63 players and not 53 players.
I thought that was a brilliant observation from a guy who's been around and understands what he's looking for. And he said also in a way it might even be the best 75. Because if there are guys that we cut and they're at home, we know that they understand our system, what it would take to come in on a Tuesday and be ready to play on Sunday. So, yeah, 53-man roster, everybody knows about that. That 10-man developmental / practice squad. And he said a lot of those 10 end up playing for you sometime in November or December because of injuries or because they've elevated their play during the course of the regular season.
First down and 10. Joshua Dobbs. And he's looking for Washington again, who's going to joust with Hawkins, who's got the ball. It's Washington. That's a touchdown and his second acrobatic catch for 6 tonight. He is some kind of player. 22-yard touchdown pass. He caught one earlier for 19, and he was heavily covered.
The ability to make adjustments to the football, Waters is right there. They are fighting for the ball. When you're a kid, the tie goes to, the offense. And you always understood that. It looks like Herb Waters has a little more of the ball, but not enough of the ball to overweigh that old rule that the tie goes to the offense.
Packer fans have a pretty bad memory of a contested catch not too long ago up in Seattle on a Monday night with replacement referees.
Yeah, that wasn't a catch.
No.
Wasn't even close. Pete Carroll, the big smile of surprise on his face, revealed that right away.
I told you, and I guess I didn't tell you. I was flying out. I did that game, and I saw the referee that made the call, and he was wearing all kinds of swag that he got from the team after the game as he was getting on the plane at like 6 in the morning. Going for 2, Dobbs, and knocked away. Well, had a couple there. Ahmad Thomas may have gotten a hand on it, and Marlon Evans. 51-34, Packers on top, 6:24 to go. Waters was beaten by Washington. Welcome back to the Atrium at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, and all rights to this broadcast are reserved. And any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written permission of the NFL is prohibited. Well, that scoring summary that you see there presented by Spectrum. Spectrum's network delivers enough bandwidth for today and whatever comes next. After the 22-yard touchdown pass and the failed two-point conversion, it's Quentin Rollins. Outside and brought down by Nate Burhay. 16-yard return. Washington has had some kind of night receiving for Pittsburgh. 5 catches, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns, and his touchdown receptions have been spectacular.
And when you think about it, they draft this kid, and he really is their number 3 receiver. They let Martavis Bryant go to the Raiders. Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Washington. This is once again a loaded Steelers offense.
Akeem Judd is in the backfield. First down and 10, Boyle. And Judd wrapped up, hit, brought down Malik Golden. Brings him down. Let's check the ground game stats, powered by Cenex. Be sure to stop by at your local Cenex and fuel up on the way to your next Packers game. Cenex is the proud petroleum partner of the Green Bay Packers. Last week they averaged 2.8 against Tennessee. On the ground. It's second down at about 14 after they lost 4 on that previous play. Judd, and upended there by Malik Reed. He's out of Villanova, rookie free agent. With a gain of 5, he's up to the 19-yard line. Packers looking to go to 2-0 in preseason.
During practice, you have one-on-ones, you have 11-on-11s, but you have a 9-on-7 run period. I never understood that. The offense gets 7 guys to block against 9 defenders. And that's what it looks like right now, that those 9 defenders are crowding that box, and it's a tough situation to run in. Now you spread them out a little bit, possibly pass the ball here on third down.
Third down 9. They need the 29. And Boyle deep and almost brought in. And a tough one by Kevin Radon. Youngstown State, tight end, incomplete. Coverage on the play by a couple, including Matthew Thomas.
When you watch Boyle play, think about the deep balls he's thrown that have been right on the money. And he's throwing to guys that he probably doesn't throw to every day at practice. Get a 1 rep here, another rep there. Everything he throws, when he throws a deep ball, is right there. You guys have a chance to make a play on it.
J.K. Scott to punt. Deep back is Quadri Henderson. And from the 36, fair caught, 4-4 hang time. Punt of 43 yards. Book your next event at Titletown, directly west of Lambeau Field. Rockwood Terrace is an exceptional space combining a modern yet rustic feel. Visit Titletown.com for more. Fans have stuck around to watch their Packers against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers were 13-3 last season. First time they had won 13 games since 2004. They had 8 Pro Bowlers. They won the AFC North.
Right.
And they had a lot of promise again for this year.
And they were kind of chirping a little bit about we can't wait to get back to play the Patriots. Jacksonville, I think, heard that.
Dobbs first and 10. Deftly moves out of the oncoming rush. Racing out of bounds, and Marcus Porter ushered him out of Fairmont State with a gain of 4. Clock at 4.5 to play here in the 4th. Steelers will fly home tonight. They hold their training camp in Latrobe, Pennsylvania at St. Vincent College. This is their 53rd year there. Dobbs drops the shotgun and gets it outside, where it's brought in by Griffey. There's a flag, and Brown will make the tackle for Green Bay.
There's 3 flags. And when you're tackling somebody up around the collar,
personal foul, face
sometimes
mask.
it's hard to tell if
Defense
you're
number
face
44,
mask, collar,
15 yards to the end of the run. First
but
down.
all 3 officials knew that one was a face mask.
Brown played 4 games for the Packers last year. Practice squad for the first 7 weeks. So anyway, the Steelers, in their 53rd year at St. Vincent College, Packers
second longest
to the Packers 61 years at St. Norbert College.
I was there that first year as a baby.
61 years ago. First and 10. Dobbs on his receiver, got tangled up, incomplete, and Trey Griffey was there. There's no yellow on the field.
You know, late in the game, and you're watching the ball being thrown down the field by both teams. There are no apologies after a preseason game, because you're trying to work and give these players the best opportunity they can to show their skills. So when the Packers have the ball and they throw the ball down the field, they're up by 20 points. Mike Tomlin doesn't go over to Mike McCarthy after the game and say, "Why are you throwing the ball?" he understands you're trying to evaluate your roster, and the only way to do that is to play your game. And what do both these teams major in throwing the ball down the field, so you wouldn't expect them to do anything different.
Dobbs, he dumps it off and caught by Samuels. A nice open field tackle right there by Herb Warners. Another flag thrown. Mike Tomlin began in 07 with the Steelers. Mike McCarthy began in 06 with the Packers. Mike McCarthy from the Pittsburgh area. They met in the Super Bowl in Dallas after the 2010 season. The Packers winning that.
Second down.
And almost every year since then, these two teams have always been in the Super Bowl discussion at the beginning of every season.
Mike Tomlin's team, 8 playoff appearances, and Mike McCarthy's 9. So you're right. So if at the beginning of the year in your pool at work, you pick one of these two teams.
Probably in contention late in the season. Last year, especially the Steelers at 13-3. Green Bay was 7-9. But they lost their quarterback. They had all kinds of injuries on their offensive line, and it unraveled. Dobbs with a long second and knocked away. Beautiful play right there by Hawkins on 2nd and 20. Josh Hawkins out of East Carolina played that well, as it was intended for Trey Griffey out of Arizona.
That ball hung in the air a little bit. Dobbs looking underneath, then went to the deep route. A nice drive on the ball.
Third down and 20. Dobbs got away from the oncoming rush of Thomas and Crawford. And that pass intended for Tevin Jones. By the way, we had a spotting of Ryan Shazier on the Pittsburgh sideline tonight. He, as many people know, has made this incredible recovery from the injury on the Monday game of last season against Cincinnati. And I'm trying to find him, as is our director, Doug Brown. We saw him earlier, and there he is. Thank you, Doug. There's what a almost a miracle when you think about the progress he has made. This will be fair caught on the Pittsburgh punt. Ryan Shazier, without the use of a cane or on his own, he's walking, and that is such a wonderful, wonderful sight.
And it's so chilling when you see a player go down and you understand the risks that are associated with this game, and you see him get back up. He walked across the draft stage earlier to announce one of the Steelers draft picks, and so he's made a spectacular recovery. And in his mind, he would still love to play again. That's how much he loves the game.
Green Bay gets it with a 1st and 10. Number 1 there, Kyle Lewis. Here's a Boyle handoff. And it goes to Guanyo, who will not be denied, and he takes the ball out near the 20-yard line. Picking up 5 in the play and tackled in the secondary by Jamar Summers out of UConn, a rookie free agent for Pittsburgh. Here's a look at Lewis, rookie free agent from Cal Poly. College running back, wide receiver, went undrafted, spent a brief bit of time with the Detroit Lions this past offseason. Let go, and Green Bay's got him now. 2nd down and 5. It goes outside here for Adonis Jennings. On the quick throw, once again, Summers is there. Jennings, the rookie out of Temple, takes it out near the 25, close to a 1st down. And he got it, so he picked up about 5 on the 6 yards on the play. And they moved the chains.
So that's a throw that Tim Boyle made on his own, because there was a run called there. Because the box is stacked with the extra defenders, the wide receiver has the defensive back off far enough where I'll take that easy throw, as opposed to giving it where we can't block everybody up with the blocking scheme. So nice, smart play by Tim Boyle.
1st down and 10. Guanyo cuts back well and slithers his way into the grasp of Kendall Vickers, a rookie free agent out of Tennessee, and picks up 5. The Packer TV network is one of the biggest in the National Football League. Our Broadcasts go as far as Honolulu, as far north as Fairbanks and Anchorage, as far south as St. Louis.
Which place would you rather watch the game in? Alaska or Hawaii?
Well, to our good Alaskan friends, I would say in Fairbanks. But great coverage and Packer fans all over the country, like Steeler fans. These have got great fan bases, and we have reached the 2-minute warning here at Lambeau Field. Well, we've reached the 2-minute warning here at Lambeau in Green Bay. 2nd down and 5. Packers have gotten all kinds of highlights tonight. Aaron Rodgers with a touchdown throw of 8 yards. Only had a 10-yard touchdown run early. Waniel right here. And tackled on the play by Keon Adams out of Western Michigan, a 7th-round pick last year. Tramon Williams got a pick 6 in the first play of the game, racing 25 yards for the touchdown. And Deshaun Kaiser had a touchdown pass. Crosby's kicked 2 50-yard field goals. Well, next week, we'll take this show to the Bay Area, Oakland, California, to take on the Raiders.
It's a Friday game.
It is a Friday, that's right. Yep. Pre-game will begin 9 Central.
This is almost a Friday game.
It feels like a Friday game, doesn't it?
I predicted 200 points. We've only had 85. We need 115 more points.
Waniel and tackle made.
No, they didn't.
Second charge, timeout, Pittsburgh.
Timeout taken by Pittsburgh.
So does that net you 1 extra play, perhaps?
Well,
and I know you're trying to evaluate, trying to get it on tape so that you can teach and learn.
But you're saying,
I think if I was the head coach, I might let that one go. Big Ben is going, I need to get to that bus so we can get a snack.
I'm going to see my kids.
Yeah.
Let's see, to Pittsburgh from here is probably about a hour and 20-minute flight at the most.
Yep.
But they're going to, I don't know if they're going to Pittsburgh or back to their school.
I think are they still in camp?
I think they might be. Teams break at different times, and J.K. Scott's going to punt once again. 4th and 4 for Green Bay with 1:10 to play. And he's had kind of an uneven night. This is his best part of the night right here, but it's out of bounds. And so, again, he doesn't get the kind of distance he's been putting up in practice.
It's past his bedtime.
Talks about the process of playing for Nick Saban down in Alabama. Punted in some very big games. I think I saw a stat with him. He had punted 54 times last year. He only had 5 returns.
It surprised me still that Alabama punted 54 times.
Me too. I know. That was a 35-yard punt right there.
They do play like 15 games, though, don't they?
It seems like it, doesn't it? They play a lot every year. Dobbs remains the quarterback. Samuels in the backfield for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their rookie receiver Washington with 2 touchdown receptions tonight. Samuels, big hole, and bulldozing his way and flying into the hit of Raven Green. A 15-yard first down run. But you know what? For these kids, there is no wasted play.
No.
Every play they can put on tape is something that they can put on their resume.
The defensive line wish that hadn't been on the resume right there.
Exactly. If you're like Samuels in a 5th-round pick, you're trying to show what you can do. There's a tackle made by Connor Sheehy, who's a rookie free agent out of Wisconsin, with a 1-yard gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 9. Pittsburgh had 144 rushing yards tonight on the Packers. Second down and 9 of what might be the final play of the game. And it will be the final play of the game if there's no penalty. And that is a run by Samuels. And that is all she wrote from Lambeau tonight. Aaron Rodgers started. Mike McCarthy's got his 2nd win of the preseason. It's against the team that he rooted for while growing up in suburban Pittsburgh. Davante Adams had a nice play early in the game, a 27-yard catch and run, which set up the Aaron Rodgers to Jimmy Graham 8-yard touchdown pass. Packers win it 51-34 over the Pittsburgh Steelers in Lambeau.